Alrighty, hello there everyone. Welcome to my video today where I have a very special one planned. It's actually going to be my analysis slash thoughts slash sort of casting slash commentary, all the good stuff about my recent match from a couple weeks ago. It was me versus FireLordEthan um, in the Bounty Party finals. Now, just for like a little bit of history, Ethan and I have faced each other in like 3 or 4 finals in the past like year. He's come out on top in 2 of them. I have won 1 of them, and so today is going to be, finally my moment to maybe settle the score. We'll see. But I thought I wanted to really make a video to showcase like my thoughts and to give you like sort of a nice little look into the mind of somebody who has a lot of experience on in competitive because I am one of the most active players at the moment. So I think it'd be good for anyone who's newer or intermediate, anyone who wants to get some nice thoughts about the game. Okay, so what you're seeing right now is the draft. So we do a draft in comp games. So the format for this final is going to be a first to 9 wins, total of 16 games. So whoever gets 9 wins first is going to take the entire finals. And if we happen to tie 8-8, we will go to an infinite decider, in which case we have to play the selected venue infinitely until somebody manages to sweep the venue or otherwise called just getting 2 wins over your opponent basically. So for example, you can win if the score is 10-8 to somebody. So basically just 2 points up. Okay, so let's go over the draft here. So first of all, we'd use a coin flip to decide who's player 1 and who's player 2. I happen to win the flip, so I chose to be player 2. That way I could choose if I wanted to spy or snipe first. This is a common preference that I have because I like to spy first. I oddly enough, I feel like I trust my spy a lot more usually. And sniper games, I feel like maybe in the beginning of the set, sniper games are pretty high stress, but at the end of the set, they're really not that big of stress for me. So I don't mind having to snipe second. Um, Especially because if you manage to get ahead with a spy win, you can actually lift a lot of that like mental burden off yourself to perform well. So I actually like spying first. So I always try to spy first when I can, depending on the set. If I think I'm maybe have a slight edge over my opponent, I might snipe first. It just depends how I'm feeling on any certain day. And honestly, I don't have I'm always going to spy or I'm always going to snipe first. It's always by case by case. But Ethan and I play each other like a million times, so I kind of like to start out on the spy side when Ethan's sniper is not warmed up because the traditional narrative is that, my spy is, it's sort of like, what is it? Like unstoppable force meets immovable object. Well, the immovable object is Ethan, who has a very dominant and just strong spy or sniper, and then I have sort of a more creative and more kind of dynamic spy. I like to, use like everything, any opportunity that I can to get ahead on the spy side, and create some kind of interesting plays. That's kind of what I tend to go for. Um, and so yeah, that's the narrative. So coming into the match, we're no strangers to playing the game, so naturally, the drafts look a lot like our other drafts. In case you have seen the Discord, but let's get into it. So, Ethan bans Redwoods. Now that's no shock. He absolutely hates Redwoods. Redwoods is not a venue that he likes. And then, same thing for me. I hate Balcony because I Balcony just has so much variance. And like, yeah, I could play it a little bit, but am I extremely comfortable on it? No, not really. So, maybe I can play it well sometimes, but more often than not, it's just going to be like a total coin flip venue. Sometimes you get a really, really nice party with a ton of pathing lowlights, which is what I primarily use on Balcony, as well as, maybe a few behavioral tells. I made a video teaching the dailies, level 7, that's completely towards Balcony, where I explain my strategy, but it's not really that consistent of a strategy. So, and I definitely didn't want to break it out in the finals, so I banned Balcony. But Ethan also doesn't like Redwoods, I'm assuming, just because you can't really see a lot in Redwoods, and so it's much easier to get stuff by the sniper. And for somebody who, does a lot of pathing lowlights, as you'll see in the next coming games, which basically means like he watches AI movement and lowlights it so that he has less, mental load throughout the game. Yeah, then yeah, him banning Redwoods, it makes a lot of sense. Okay, so I double gallery. We only get one double. I double gallery. It's my favorite venue. There's no shock there. Ethan and I played a 50 game set for my 10,000 game my 10,000 games, my 10,000 game set like the other day, or what was it, like probably about a year ago, honestly, at this point. So it's my favorite venue. Ethan really likes it too, but even if we're even on it, I think that I still sometimes can perform better on gallery over Ethan. Just in the past, I think that I have etched out like a few extra spy wins maybe if we counted all of our games on the venue. So I'm definitely comfortable picking it here. I love spying on gallery. I don't mind sniping it. Maybe the last like couple minutes gets a little intense in gallery, but overall, I think I'm pretty comfortable in gallery. And Ethan doubles high rise, and this should strike you as very very weird because why would someone like Ethan who has such a dominant sniper go for a 3 of 7 venue? Well, the answer is very obvious. He knows that I don't like it. I've been a very avid high rise hater. I'd actually go as far to say that I would say I am the least comfortable out of any other venue on high rise. And you're wondering, well, why don't you ban balcony, or why don't you ban high rise instead of balcony? Well, balcony is just too high variance, whereas high rise, I feel like I could hold my own, but it doesn't mean that I like sniping it, and it doesn't mean that I like spying it. I'm very just uncomfortable on it. So yeah, I'm not a very big fan of high rise. So Ethan picks that, knowing that. I don't really try to hide any prep or anything like that. I'm never gonna be like, you know, keeping what I dislike, like whatever, a secret. I'm pretty sure what I like, Ethan knows everything about it. So I don't. Yeah, it's like once you play someone like so many times and you spectate each other so many times, it's like you kind of know what the other person likes. Plus, I've said I don't like it, so the pick makes a lot of sense here. Um, so it was a good draft decision from Ethan. I was kind of expecting it. I was maybe expecting some weird thing like either that or maybe like a library double, but I think that uh, Ethan doubling high rise makes a lot of sense, so I'm not surprised by that. And then singles library, yeah, obviously, Ethan very dominant sniper. Library 5 of 8 is almost a guaranteed win on the sniper side. I would say 90% of the time if you're somebody who's a top player like Ethan is. So I can definitely understand that. But the flip side is I also have a very good strong chance of sniping it, so not too worried about that. And then Ballroom is one of my favorite venues. I would say Ballroom and Gallery are my top two favorite venues. A lot of spy play, a lot of balance. You know, Normally it favors like the better spy, so of course I wanted to try and capitalize on that. Um, and then I ban Terrace. Yet again, I don't like 3 of 7 venues myself. I consider my sniper much weaker than Ethan's, so any chance I can get to get myself some better sniping venues, I'm going to take it. So I ban Terrace. Ethan bans Pub, which I'm really shocked by, but I do know quite a bit of pathing on Pub, and I think that Ethan also wants a more balanced venue set after what he's already picked, which is a double high rise pick. So hopefully already planning to get a lead on high rise and just keep the lead. So he bans Pub, so he can eliminate some of that variance because 3 of 7 setups are can go either way sometimes because all it takes is like a double green floor into an inspect into a BB and then you're done with missions. But AI can easily do that as well, so it's no shock that top players kind of tend to ban that because they don't want like anything. They want to like snipe their nice and comfy 4 of 8, 5 of 8 venues. I also wanted to make a note since I haven't mentioned all like the venue settings are in the middle of the screen right here. So yeah, we have that. And then now we also have a Tayen single, which I'm a little surprised by. I wasn't expecting Tayen, but it makes sense. I mean, you pick it at the end of the game when you might need a spy win, so you pick it for like insurance if you're behind and you want to have a good chance at a spy win. I will admit I'm probably a worse Tayen player than Ethan is, so I definitely understand the pick. So he could definitely put together some really really good spy games on Tayen. I've seen it. So I like the Tan pick from Ethan there. And then myself, I single courtyard. And the main reason I do this is just because in case I'm actually ahead at the end of the game, I want to, have a nice comfy venue to snipe on for my final, maybe sniper win that I must need. Like say it scores, what is it? What would it be? It'd be, I think it'd be 5-7. Yeah, it'd be 5-7 or what? No, it'd be 6-8. Sorry, it'd be 6-8 going into maybe say I'm up 8 to 6, and we're going into courtyard. Well, I'd want to just have a nice easy sniper game, so I pick courtyard last. And worst case scenario, I'm behind. Say it's 8-6 in Ethan's favor. Maybe I want to have a venue that's pretty sniper favored that I know that I'm really comfy on, and maybe I could whip out some crazy spy game and pull out a win somehow. To force a tie, something like that. So yeah, I picked Courtyard 8th because otherwise it's either Veranda or Aquarium or Moderne. I know Ethan really likes Moderne. I like Moderne too. I'm not as big of a fan of it, but there is a lot of pathing on it, so I'm not just going to give Ethan some free pathing. And then, yeah, I ban Aquarium. I don't like Aquarium. I don't want to play Aquarium infinitely if we go to overtime. So I think that would just be, it would just be whoever gets a bug behind Shark first, probably, which wouldn't really be in my best interest. Like I said, I don't want like low variance. I want nice, solid venues to play on. So yeah, I banned Aquarium. And then Ethan, shockingly, or not shockingly, doesn't ban Modern and bans Veranda instead. Veranda is a 5/8 venue, but yet again, I feel like both of us probably don't really like to play Modern or Veranda that much, so it makes sense that he picks Modern for the decider. But yet again, it's not like guaranteed to play Modern or anything. I will say though, I think that this draft looks pretty standard. I mean, all of the venues, my favorite venues are like gallery, ballroom, library, like courtyard. So I get like a good portion of the I would say like I get 5/8 of the draft that I'm really comfortable with, and then Tayen, it depends on the day, and then high rise, yeah, I hate high rise. High rise is my least favorite venue to play on, so yeah. All right, but that is the draft. So now let me take you to the replays. And I also wanted to say I put the score up there. I'm going to be updating it every single time just for your convenience. So just in case you want to flip through the video or just follow along because SpyParty doesn't have in person or built-in scoreboard. Sorry, so I put it up there, and I should be good to go. I don't think I need to move it at all, but yeah, I'm going to be updating it after every game. Okay, so now with the draft out of the way, let's go. So yeah, we start off on double gallery, and I'm going to do it as spectator. And yeah, here we go. So this is the first game. I believe I'm Salmon, I think, first. Yep, I am. And we'll start it in 3, 2, 1, playing it. And normally when I start out on Gallery, I always try to look for a flirt or maybe like some really early cheese mission, but as you notice, the ambassador kind of towards the back of the venue there, so nothing much that I can really do. And Ethan is already starting to take lowlights on people. This is what I mean. So he watches AI anti-tells, and what he does is he'll lowlight them, because then you have less to watch over the course of the game. And what I also want to say is that Ethan knows that I don't typically AI control because I actually find that there's more value. I don't see the point in AI controlling against him because typically I know a lot of paths as well. So any paths that I would get a lot of suspicion for, most likely I'm not gonna like die for it. But it's also like, if I lose because I AI controlled and didn't save myself from an anti-tell, it's like maybe I deserve to lose anyway. Okay, but anyway, what I didn't neglect to mention was that I did a green purloin there, so it's a common cheese technique at the end of, what you could do at the green bookcase is after you put a book away, you could sit there and request, and if the sniper's not paying attention, you could hurry up and get a really quick reject in on the purloin. And so now Seek takes the list, and Ethan highlights it because he saw that, and he highlights people that are kind of near it, maybe that are also in the chain. I wasn't really watching. So yeah, so right now he's trying to parse that. Me, you can kind of just see that I'm just chilling in conversation here, not doing much, and I'm just kind of waiting for stuff to happen. So Ethan still looks very unsure of the purloin. I'm not highlight, and because other people did get highlight, you would have to assume that I am in the clear for this purloin, in that he doesn't know it's me. And of course, I'm probably thinking this throughout the game that if I'm not dead for this purloin, I'm probably not going to be dead. So I can just kind of go flirt freely here, and that's what I probably decide to do. Oh yeah, I decided to watch check here because I'm running out of time. I don't have much time. So, yeah, time ad there. I already figure I'm free from the purloin. I probably would be dead, or like, you can kind of watch the laser movement after you do a hardtail to see if you got away with it. But because it looks like, from my perspective when I was watching the laser, that I didn't, that he wasn't really like watching me. Kind of was watching more of the back. You can kind of tell. Then I thought, okay, I probably got away with this. So yeah, now Ethan now is just kind of watching every mission, probably like very hyper suspicious of anybody doing or completing anything. So, Ambassador's putting a print on the 4th statue. And I hit a green flirt. I gotta start flirting sometime. I now have 2 minutes to play with, which is really nice. He sees Alice walking away from the window pad. Maybe is a little suspicious of the time ad, but I now knock her out, and every single highlight of his that was, near that purloin list was out. I think Seek was also out, but he was zoomed in for it, so he couldn't really tell. And let's see what transpires here. My plan right now is I'm just kind of chilling out in the back conversation, just waiting to waiting for my moment to do something. Seek actually gets low lit here, which, yeah, he should have been because I think he was out for BB. But Ethan was zoomed in, so he didn't see it. And if you actually notice, like, Ethan has this party down to 6 people, and this was through a combination of BB lowlights, pathing lowlights, maybe purloin lowlights. So you can see why his sniper is very, very, like, effective. And what you actually notice there is, I think he was actually watching me on that, like, little painting pad over there. So I think he might have actually saw me Twitch flirt there. And so I might now be becoming a little bit of I might have a little bit of suspicion on me, and because like Teal's the only highlight in the party, so naturally he would have noticed if she was next to me, and then he sees me go over next to Teal again. So while I do have 3 missions and I'm not dead yet, I'm probably dead on any other mission because there's no way I'm getting away with swap. There's no way I'm getting away with a direct transfer. There's only 6 people, so it has to be a bug, and that's exactly what I'm thinking here. I don't know who is sus or not. So yeah, I try a bug, and it doesn't end up working out. And yeah, if you want to see it from my perspective, here it is. So yeah, I want it to be a wrong arm bug, just on the off chance that I'm not like that much suspicion. If you also kind of notice, I have Seek and White Dress covering me a little bit. So if he was only watching my left arm here, you could kind of make a case that this has some pretty good cover to it, which is why I took the bug in the moment. I thought it looked good enough for me to take. But Ethan has the party down to just 6 people, so there's really not much that you can do there anyway. So in my opinion, watching this back, I think that this is probably the best attempt I'm gonna get. But overall, it's just a dominant sniper game from Ethan, as one would expect. And I'm not really shocked to see this level of sniper play from Ethan. It's just insanely really good. So yes, well, kudos to him. So now we have 0-1 to Ethan. The spy game really wasn't that bad. I think I played it good. I think if I could go back and redo it, I maybe would just go back and take a book out right after the purloin goes off instead of going to the front conversation maybe. But overall, I mean, it's the first game. Maybe like later on in the set, would I be more aggressive? But what can you do? Okay, so that was the first game, and so now I am sniping against Ethan, who is Alice. All right, and then in 3, 2, 1, playing it. Spawns right next to the ambassador. Good thing he's not me, otherwise he would have instantly tried to bug. Um, Probably looking for the ST here, which is Taft. You can see him just completely following Taft. Probably going to go to the front conversation here, which he does. And so, yeah, this makes a lot of sense here. So there's not much to really say right now. My sniper play I like to highlight for statue inspects. And, normally I would say 90% of the time I'm going to end up being zoomed in. I take lowlights on the non-cast, or I take lowlights on all the cast members, so Toby, Damon, the ambassador. Normally I highlight the ambassador. I think just in this case I just wanted some nice some nice visual clarity. So I was like lowlighting. But yeah, so normally I pay a lot of attention to bug, I pay a lot of attention to purloin, and then flicker back to microfilm here and there. And that's kind of the main way I play sniper. It's just my routine. And we actually go in for a difficult fingerprint, which I think I was on top of. I think I had Alice having this difficult in the moment, but maybe not. Now it's so long that I probably can't say whether or not I was on some of these missions or not, but hopefully we can still see how I was starting to find shots here and there. All right, but let's pay attention to Ethan's side now. So now we're just chilling with the book, and we have a reverse drive-by bug, which I think I actually credited. So, this reverse drive-by bug goes off. I'll show it after the match is over, but I think I do remember that I credited this. And I also think I still gave Alice 1 difficult print. So in my mind, I think I'm remembering now like that if she ever did happen to get another print and a BB, she's probably the spy. But at the moment, not really. Obviously not 100%. Oh, it's definitely Alice. You should never tunnel. Every disciplined sniper, every top level sniper is going to stay disciplined and still watch everything. They're never going to tunnel vision unless they're like 95+% sure. And so we're probably going to go not to another bookcase, but we're still going to go back in the BB conversation, which makes a lot of sense. And I'm zoomed in here, maybe going to zoom out a little bit. I think I low lit Irish there for a slide on the green bookcase. Doing a little Ethan cosplay right there. Okay, BB goes off, and it's a white BB. Had it been a green BB, he would have gotten the mission progress, but it was a white BB. So in the time he was talking and the time it took for the BB to actually go off, the DA actually leaves. So Now he does not have it, but he did finish up the flirt, so nice 2 green flirt. So far, it's a really, really good game. Now, luckily, I did see the bug a little bit, so thankfully, that's probably going to save me later on when, um, whenever he does anything, but we'll see. But yeah, I mean, I'm watching. I tried to see Rocker to see if she was swapping. Didn't she swapped. Queen has a nice little stop re-entry. Ambassador is completely safe at the moment. So now I'm just watching Purloin. Wheels, I don't really recall if he was at a bookcase or not, but probably not. He doesn't have any other mission progress anyway. White Dress actually has a redirect, and now we BB to try and BB Purloin here. So like while I'm taking Lilies, he wants to BB, and then we do a second BB, and then at this point in time, I just shoot him because I'm like, this is a hard tell. You cannot, have Toby offering you to for more than like, I think 6 seconds. So it also screamed spy-like when we BB the first time and then tried to request a drink. I did notice that, and then I saw like Alice start talking again, and then I also saw like, and then like nothing happened with the waiter, so I'm just kind of like waiting for like the BB again because I thought maybe like Ethan got action priored into it, which just basically means that he clicked the wrong button. And then it goes off, and then I think we instantly try to reject a drink. Yeah, we instantly take a drink or take the purloin there, trying to save ourselves because to make it look like he didn't mess up, but it was too late. I already saw it, so I shot him for it. And then here's the bug too from my perspective. So when Ambassador walks by, you kind of want to watch. Yep, I'm zoomed in here, and you can kind of see that Alice kind of resets her posture a little bit, which is a tell of a reverse drive-by bug, is what we call it when the ambassador walks by you. So I ended up shooting it, and it ended up being correct at the end because I already had a little suspicion for the bug. So I think when I saw Alice getting offered to after a BB, I think I was already like my alarm bells were already sent ringing. So I was already very very suspicious of it. So okay, so after the first Galar game, we're actually tied 1-1. So we got a nice even split. Now let's see if I can break through on the spy side. As White Dress, the slowest spy, sometimes they don't expect the slower spy on these bigger venues, but I know my pacing very, very well, and I know I won't ever get into time trouble if I don't want to time out, so I don't mind taking White Dress. She also has a very strong bug, so I thought maybe White Dress could do some like shenanigans with a bug or something this game, but we'll see. But anyway, uh, you know, me versus Ethan again on gallery in 3, 2, 1, playing it. And we'll go from my perspective. As usual, I tried to get an early flirt, hit the green test, pick up a book. Very, very standard. And let's watch Ethan's sniper because I'm probably not going to do anything with the book. I can't imagine. Oh no, I actually microfilm. Okay. So I direct, or not direct, I animation microfilm. So, Ethan's still watching the busy, busy party. And Ambassador's actually notably safe. So it's interesting to me that, Ethan's eyes weren't at the back of the party at that time, but it's not too weird. That's why I went for an early microfilm because things are still really, really busy. The easy microfilm is at the back of the green bookcase behind that conversation. So typically if you have blue bookcase done, you can kind of have a nice, easier time. And then I actually go to statues here to pick up some inspects because assuming I know for a fact that Ethan does not just highlight for statues like I do. So since I know that, I go ahead and take this free inspect, and it doesn't change anything. So now my game plan was to probably go get a green book. Oops, sorry, I accidentally paused it. My plan is now to get a green book and do the animation microfilm. So that is the goal. But yeah, Ethan's just watching the party as usual. I can't really be doing. There's no mission progress for me debating right now, even if that is the real DA, which I think it was. Um, oh no, it wasn't. Never mind. So it's not even the real DA, but even if I wanted to, that conversation had no progress. I hurry up and take a flirt, and right now my pacing is really, really good, and I'm still white dress, so I would still prefer to go as fast as possible here. There's still, over half the time left. Obviously, I'm probably going to go for another microphone hill, and I noticed that the ambassador's actually at the front of the venue. I get marked suspicious, actually, so I think he does that and then looks away. That way he can at least credit me for going to both bookcases. But I'm also in, like, the spy microfilm spot, which is why I get highlight. Nebula also used to do this a lot, too. But there, the microfilm's actually done now. So Now, I only need one more inspect, and then I'll have to find a contact in like the next minute and a half, basically. So I end up going to statues here. Ethan, no reaction to his laser, but I almost guarantee you he was extremely suspicious of this. But we'll see what happens. And actually, you still notice that Ethan actually has 4 lowlights in the party. So you're taking like the 17 about people that you have to watch, and if you're bringing it down to like 13 people every single game, it's very, very powerful. And Ethan is just a very strong gallery player, just like myself. So I think that nothing. It doesn't really shock me. Like, this is just how Ethan's sniper is. It's just very, very powerful, very dominant. Like, just super like sometimes just so frustrating to play against because you want to do so many things and like so many cool plays, but they will never work because maybe he doesn't have to watch enough stuff, or maybe somebody else is already low lit, and so what you want to do doesn't work. But in this case, I'm probably suspect number one. I mean, he probably knows I have completed inspects here. He'll highlight me for the microfilm, so that's probably credited. So if he hears me go for a BB here, it would not shock me at all if I get shot, is what I'm thinking. And so I go in with the double agent. I actually BB really, really early on into the conversation, which is why I think I actually get shot. So yeah, actually, so that's going to now bring it back 1-2 Ethan. So Ethan, yet again, is now going to be spying next to get an advantage. But yeah, I think I don't hate this. I think I BB'd way too soon. But I've been burned so many times in the past where what's happened is like you BB and then like or you wait to BB because you don't want to be suspicious, and then the double agent will leave. Actually, yeah. If you can notice, like the exact point I'm talking about actually happens, right? Because if you notice, the DA I contact, it's a green test, and then the double agent leaves. Actually, as soon as I do it, and I actually thought in the moment, like, oh, this is a great thing because maybe he didn't notice it, and maybe he thinks like, oh, the DA actually walked out before I could get it off. But I still get shot for it because I'm probably suspect number one anyway, like I said. So not very shocked by that. And so yeah, Ethan takes his second win of the set, and we are going to be going on to the last gallery game, and it is going to be, let's see what spy. General. Okay. It is going to be General. So we have General, who is known for his really, really good walking bugs. And it is Ethan trying to spy for the first advantage of the match. In 3, 2, 1, playing it. Yep, low light the ambassador for the visual clarity again. We actually start off with a green test. Very, very nice early green test from Ethan here. We walk towards the ambassador, and look at this bug. Absolutely beautiful. So he stops right, he takes the bug action and then stops in the painting pad. And in game, I actually thought that this was Duke. I actually thought it was Duke's arm. I will show it after, after this game ends. But I actually thought that it was Duke's arm. So I credited Duke with that bug. But as I said, I never really try to tunnel vision too hard on people, so I'm still watching everything else. I'm also trying to watch Duke's paths a little bit, which look a little wonky, but still could be AI-like. And Ethan now has a bug, and 50% flirt goes to a statue, which doesn't shock me because obviously if you think that you are in the clear for a hardtail such as Bug very early on or Purloined, you want to go do another mission as soon as possible and see the reaction of the laser. Now, from Ethan's perspective, it just looks like an early statue highlight from me, so very like routine, so it looks like safe. And then he goes to another inspect right away, which I love. Can I just say? So now he's actually all done. Now he just needs one more flirt and a BB, and actually, it's a really, really strong sniper game, and then the main crux of the entire game relies on the fact that if I saw the bug or not. And as I already mentioned, I did credit it to Duke. So at this point in time, General, while it was a little weird that you would go statue to statue, I actually don't credit him with anything because he doesn't have a bug, so he only has one mission. We get a BB, and then probably one more flirt, which wouldn't be enough. Yeah, 99, very, very close, but just one more flirt. And if he's not dead for this BB, he's probably fine, is what he's thinking here, which makes a lot of sense. I mean, if you are not dead for a bug like that, you're just chilling. So yeah, 99% flirt. We're obviously just gonna wait for one more flirt. You have 2 minutes to do it. I mean, if you're not dead, you're probably getting away with it, is what Ethan's thinking. So this is probably just gonna be a win for him, is what's going through his mind right now. I will say the only little suspicion I did have was that path into conversation. I will say, like, the path wasn't perfect. He actually squeezed in a little bit tight with people and stepped over some legs a little bit, you can kind of notice, but overall, like I said, I don't have enough suspicion on him just yet. So if he only had the inspects right now, I probably could catch him later on in the game for something because I credited it. And yeah, we go for our last flirt here. So that is just me mission win countdown. I'd have to shoot now, and I'm not doing it, which means that he's just has completely gotten away with it. Ethan takes the very first spy win of the set, and it is just an absolute statement spy game because actually this is my double and my most comfortable venue, and he takes a spy win off of it. So just absolutely putting the pedal to the metal here in terms of momentum of the match. Ethan now is up 1-3. And it's just a very, very strong spy game. There's nothing much to say. The only time I could have even really had suspicion of him this entire game was this bug right here, which I credited to Duke. So yeah, I think I credit it to Duke. I saw an arm like reset at some point, maybe like right there. That like right arm right there, I credited that to Duke maybe. Okay, yeah. So you can kind of see the snapback a little bit, and like I don't know why, but I think I thought maybe it was Duke just having a really really late bug or something. And Duke also could have had that right arm bug, which maybe didn't take the first time, so he tried again with like the left arm. So I credit it to Duke. General, I didn't credit because he kind of just stopped right on that pad, and I thought to myself, I can't really see his arm. And Salmon actually also kind of blocked my point of view here. So if I actually decided to go like this, I actually wouldn't have been able to see it. And you can see the snapback really, really well of the arm. You can kind of see that little black sleeve of General's kind of popping back into place. And I just didn't see it. So therefore, he gets away with it, which is very very nice. And you have to be really really like not afraid to do missions to do this bug. A lot of people aren't going to go this aggressive against somebody who they perceive to be a strong sniper, but sometimes you just got to do things and hope they work out. It doesn't matter how strong the other person's sniper is. You just have to kind of do it. Unless you are playing somebody who maybe you think is a little weaker, then you could kind of wait because maybe they'll civ shot later on in the match. But Ethan knows that he has to do something. He's probably not going to get away with a gallery spy win unless he does something. And the game was just played like expertly well. I mean, this is just such good discipline. I mean, an early 51% flirt means he doesn't have to ever worry about flirting pacing throughout the entire gallery game ever again. Because there's no way I'm crediting that early flirt mission when I'm trying to keep track of everything in the early game. And then the bug is just beautiful. I didn't even have it. And then yeah, we go inspect to inspect, which I think is the right play because if you got away with the bug, he knows I'm good enough as a sniper. Just watch for that fourth mission and not just randomly shoot him, which he did in fact do. And yeah, we just chased our last flirt down, and it works out coincidentally that Blink Twin goes into the DA conversation. So the only tragic part of this entire thing, he actually actually was a green test too, by the way. So had he been a little bit closer to Blink Twin, it would have been a double green flirt game, a bug which was completely clean, and inspects. And this was all before, I mean, 2 minutes in the match. I mean, this is just absolutely just a brilliant spy game, and I was freaking out because a little bit before this set, I was not playing too much, and I was a little, I won't lie, like, a little bit burnt out. So I hadn't been practicing and playing as much. So I was immediately like kind of like my nerves were like at an all-time high after this game because I was just like, wow, what an extremely strong spy game. And now I have to and now I have to somehow come back with an answer on his double venue of High Rise, which is my most least comfortable venue. And yeah, I was stressing out. I'm not gonna lie. So that was my sort of mentality going into the game. I was already sort of, I was sort of, I don't know why I was sort of acting defeated after that spy win a little bit. I kind of, this is when things start to go a little interesting because now, he's at he's up 2 points. I can't play as comfortably anymore. I can't just rely on really slow, solid spy games and pray that he's not going to be watching things. I have to really, really ramp up my aggression, or I have to just start making really, really smart plays because somehow you have to crack Ethan's sniper. So the question is, what are you going to do to crack his sniper? And so now we are going into the first high race game of four as red dress, and I am on red dress. So three, two, one, playing it. I'm going to my perspective, and I go right into statues here. And I already knew, so from the last game, I wanted to swap. And I accidentally dropped the statue, which makes an audible clink noise. And any even intermediate sniper could tell you that was someone who just dropped the statue. I try to recover by immediately picking it back up, but it's a really stupid technical mistake that I make. And as I was saying, my nerves were at an all-time high. I think my finger was shaking because I realized like, oh my gosh, like I'm gonna already be down in this set, and now I am now actually down 1-4 on Ethan's doubled venue. So now I'm freaking out even more because now I really need to win the sniper game because I already just threw away a really good chance to maybe win because I also hit the green test on the swap. And so Ethan could have gotten a little bit comfortable after that other game. And so I thought my best chance was to do an aggressive sort of rush, which is what I was trying to go for. And in doing that, I accidentally like screwed myself because I just made a stupid technical mistake. So I was I wasn't even mad. I was just kind of laughing because I'm like, oh my gosh, there's no way. And I won't lie, at this point in the set, my mental's already like a little iffy. I'm just like, I'm gonna lose. I mean, Ethan is just playing great, and I'm just not playing as great as I should be. Like, maybe a while ago I would have saw the bug on gallery, but man, it was just so bad. And obviously, huge mistake to think that I shouldn't have lost my mental so easily this set. But I think I got a little bit, too antsy to call it quits because I hadn't been playing in a little bit. I haven't really been practicing as hard as I usually do. And so, yeah, I was just kind of expecting to get crushed this set, even coming in, but I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna try my best, and it worked for a little bit there on gallery, and then I gave the spy win. I'm like, who am I kidding myself? Like, and then this happens, and then I'm just like, oh my gosh, what did I do? So I give a free win on a 3 of 7 venue to Ethan, and now I have to snipe my most uncomfortable venue. I am just feeling absolutely horrible at this point in time, because now I am no longer, in a comfortable spot to even like try to make a comeback. Because now, if I lose this sniper game, I'll be down 1-5, and I'd have to sweep 2 more venues. And Ethan's sniper is already extremely ridiculously strong, so I'm feeling not that great. But yeah, so really, what the shot was just extremely obvious. We can watch his perspective too, by the way. So yeah, Ambassador is like extremely safe. Duke can't even bugbear. He's checking to see who gets offered to first, and then he sees me put down the statue. I think he got jump scared a little bit, which is fair. But I think he literally saw me drop the statue in animation break, so he didn't even need to check the other side of the venue to see if somebody else did it. He just saw that I did it, and I died for it. And it's just very like unfortunate. I was like, oh my gosh, I'm like, this could not be happening. I cannot believe I just did that. I felt really stupid. So hopefully, so now, yeah, really need now. I really need this win here. One thing to note, Ethan actually Ethan prefers not to have swap on high rise. It's a 3 of 7 setup, which means that only one mission can be turned off. However, we get to choose those missions. So I prefer having fingerprints off. He prefers having swap off. So I don't have to worry about swap this game, but I do have to worry about prints. Opting, and so yeah, so he's opting for more of a more soft tell sort of game. So, okay, so it's 1-4 Ethan here. I'm already freaking out, but let's go. And yeah, Duke stops. He's probably just trying to flirt really quickly here. And we end up just actually going to the side statue here. And we start off with a really early inspect. Remember, swaps off, so there's no need to, freak out about memorizing it. Ambassador is just really safe, so I take this time to try and watch Rocker and Buns at the microfilm spot. I take note of green dress with the purloin here. All very standard stuff. And I highlight for statues, however, and you can notice at the bottom left, Sari is highlight with the white box around her, and you can see it. Salmon is not highlight, meaning, and this is just like, yet again, I think just another stupid mistake that I don't know how I made. I don't have salmon highlight for this statue, meaning that like this was a completely free inspect. My entire highlight strategy hinges on the fact that I'm constantly keeping up on those highlights. I see someone at statues, for example, teal goes to statues, I highlight it right about now. So Yeah, Teal gets a highlight. So if you notice, Salmon doesn't have a highlight, meaning he just got a free inspect. So if Salmon were to go back to an inspect that wasn't center statues, that could be very, very bad. Because that means I would not have it. So Ethan doesn't know it at this point in time. However, if he goes to an inspect and then contacts, he just wins because there's no way. I mean, it's just my sniper at that point. I missed the inspect. There's no way I'm shooting for something that's just a one inspect because that's just not how I snipe. So made a really stupid mistake, but let's see if Ethan can actually capitalize on it though. I mean, he still has a minute and a half. That's not a lot of time still, and he could do something. He could collapse due to pressure of trying to have to finish. So maybe like a bug or like a purloin, which are two missions I'm always on top of. Doesn't hit another green flirt, which is not an issue. He's at 85, so any other next flirt will do it. And I'm also not really tracking flirt on this venue at this point in time, so completely free flirts. He could do whatever he wants. And oh, look what happens because he goes back to the statues to finish up his inspects. And I still don't even highlight him. Okay, I finally now highlight him. But as I said, this isn't a highlight for completed inspects. If you look at the top left of the screen, inspect statues is now complete. It's green. And I don't have this at all. Contact is in the same conversation as the flirt. Ethan just talks and then contacts. It's probably over. The only reason he hasn't so far is because if he thinks I was on top of the statues, he wants to make sure he blends in. So there's the flirt, and we only need one more mission. Obviously, it's going to be a contact. He's in with the real double agent. And he contacts. It's white, and I hello light sorry. And no one has any mission progress to me, and I think I shoot Alice. I think maybe Alice had, like, fingerprints, maybe. So let me just double check that real quickly. So yeah, Alice has a briefcase. Okay, but Alice. Okay, so Alice does not have that print from that green bookcase. Yeah, and then another briefcase. And I think at this point in the game, I wasn't sure if this had another print on it or not. I'm gonna assume maybe it was a difficult or maybe it was something else. I actually don't know. I'm not gonna like rewind to see because it doesn't matter. But I think I credited Alice with fingerprint here, and then I think I see that she was in this contact. I think I did highlight her actually maybe for. Did I highlight for statues? Okay, I highlight for statues, but I was on top of this print as well, so. So yeah, I shot Alice here because in my mind she was finishing, and I can't really use a lot of pathing on high rise, which is another reason why I don't really like it that much because the little bit of like stuff I do know on high rise I don't really use that well. So yeah, but it is 1-5 now to Ethan. And just a very yet again another technical mistake. So two technical mistakes back to back, which you are not afforded in any final of any single game. Can you imagine getting an open goal in soccer and then missing the ball because you misaimed it? Like that's essentially what I did here. You cannot do that, especially not against someone like Ethan. And but yet again, kudos to him. Still, had one way to finish and just did it. Probably maybe didn't feel a highlight on the first set of statues, which is why he felt pretty comfortable to do this late. But if he didn't, either way, still very, very nice to play. Yeah, no complaints from me here. Ethan played a great game, very solid. It was up to me here to find the shot. I would say maybe on gallery, my sniper got heavily outplayed, but I think the shot was definitely possible here if I had been on top of the first statue inspects, but I was not. So Ethan gets away with it. And now and yet again, now I'm just freaking out because now I'm down 5-1. I mean, Ethan needs four more wins to win. So if I don't win this next spy game here, he'd have to literally just snipe. He'd have to snipe library, ballroom, and then courtyard for a win, and that's what I was mainly afraid of. And so that was my worst case scenario. So yeah, so now we're gonna go into the next game here where I spy as Seek in 3, 2, 1, playing it. And it's 5-1, so Ethan just needs 4 more to win. And at this point in time, I immediately want to just go, chill out, and for once, I'm not gonna go crazy and do something that I think is a rush. So yeah, we're just noticing about Ethan's just like looking around the party to make sure everything is just going normal here. And I still don't have any progress, so I think I like this approach more. I'm playing a more slow game. And so yeah, I wasn't really like looking to, do anything crazy. But then I just see the Toby come around, and I think I'm gonna take a quick purloin here. I banana bread because I noticed the ambassador's coming near me, so I'm gonna bug after the banana bread happens is my plan. So I instantly try to bug after I notice maybe he's taking lowlights, and Ethan plays me way too much to know that I love to bug, and I will bug any time of the day. And that's exactly what I do here. I decide to take this standing bug here to my own detriment after hitting a green on the purloin and getting a fake BB. Mind you, I actually am in with a yellow triangle, and it's the only real, so naturally his eyes would have been drawn to the two people in the real conversation. So it was actually a really, really bad idea, but I did not know it was a bad idea because I could not see the yellow triangle. So I don't blame myself completely. But yeah, so Ethan ends up now 1-2-6, and this game I don't hate. I actually don't hate this. You have to try something obviously, and had I gotten away with the bug, maybe like I'm highlight for the purloin, and it's whatever. I mean, because I'm already in a yellow conversation, so I'm already credited for BB anyway. So yeah, I think I don't hate my plan here. There was no technical mistake involved this time, luckily. So this is just strategical mistake slash Ethan being on top of his mission counts. So yeah, I think Ethan obviously very very strong player knows not to give up bug when he's playing AstatineEffect. So yeah, takes another sniper win, and now it is 1-6, and badly enough it's bad enough that I'm playing against Ethan. If it was maybe like, anybody else, I would think to myself, you know what, it's fine. I could still snipe the next game, and I would probably still be fine. Maybe I could come back somehow, at least force a tie or something. And, I have a lot of chances still. Now I am like really freaking out because I'm just like, okay, this is it. Like, I mean, Ethan's already 1-6 up. I need to get this next sniper win. If I don't, things are going to go really, really bad for me. So also, but let me just re-show you the bug. So yeah, he sees. I'm assuming he saw the reject. I'm assuming he saw me reject. We have banana bread, and then yeah, just highlights white dress, watches the bug, and then sees me bug and just takes a shot. Doesn't even need to see the fade actually on the purloin. Doesn't even see the purloin. I mean, he doesn't even need to. So and of course I don't blame him. Like, why would you even watch it if you could just watch bug? Because AstatineEffect cannot stop himself from bugging, aka myself. I just need help. That's really all I need. Okay, we're playing plane twin here. And yeah, yet again, actually takes off swap. So swap is now off. And yeah, 3-2-1, playing it. 6-1. I need this. It's a must-win sniper game. Otherwise, I am out of luck, probably. And we actually end up next to wheels. I make sure I see who takes the statue. I notice it's twins, so he gets a highlight. And then, low lights onto the cast. And then inspect statues, no worries. And we walk away. So Ethan yet again already has a really, really nice case. I'm sure he knows he has a lead, so what he probably is going to do is probably just finish inspects this game and just keep going for seduce because it's really, really strong that way. You don't really need to do anything crazy. Watching for bug there. Maybe I slightly credit a bug there, but I didn't think I saw his arm, so no bug credit there. And then same thing with wheels. He has a drink, so I don't think he could have bugged either. And yeah, we're still all good. So now Ethan's just chilling out flirting. And then I start taking lowlights for a swap that did not actually happen. Notice, swap is not even on, so not only did I misremember the statue originally, not only did I misremember the statue, I actually misremembered the fact that swap is actually just turned off. So then we banana bread, I shake my laser, and actually, I didn't even notice this, I just noticed this for the first ever time. There's no double agent in the front conversation. There's no double agent in the front conversation. I take a horrible, and I mean like absolutely like horrible match. Or horrible shot. We were both laughing about this in the match, by the way. It was just such a bad shot. Luckiest shot of my life, I think. That like it was just so stupid. I was like, oh no, and then I realized I looked up and I was like, wait, swap didn't go off. Am I just dumb? And then I realized, oh, swap's not even on. So not only did I misremember the statue, because like normally if a swap goes off, you notice that it changed from like say a head to a bird, but it was always a head, so I misremembered it in the first place. So I highlight I go it's so the party's down to two people. I hear a BB and then I'm like, well crap, both of them are in, so I have no choice but to shoot here. Otherwise, I'd be shooting for like flirts, which is just like that's too much pressure. So I take the 50-50 shot onto plane twin because I just assume oh Ethan's green rate is really really good. And so miraculously, I find the luckiest shot probably of my entire Spy Party career to keep me in the running from 2 to 6. If this was I mean literally if Ethan had like any justice in the world, this shot is just completely wrong, and then Ethan's up 1 to 7 in the finals of Bounty Party. Which I also wanted to mention. I don't think I mentioned at the beginning, but there were actually some stakes for this because the winner of this tournament actually got $150. So there actually was a lot of stakes on this match, and so it makes this all the more stupider because like Ethan could have been like 1 point away from at least securing a tie, and Infinite Modern is probably good for him. You'd have to assume. So it's just like this is such a ridiculous thing because not only did I make okay, so not only did I make like the original mistake, which is like I misremembered the statue. I did it. I'm watching for swap and swaps off. It's just such a massive mistake, rookie mistake to make. And I'm at this point and I'm thinking, oh my gosh, I so deserve to lose this set. I actually so deserve to lose. And I probably still will because, there's library, ballroom, and courtyard left to snipe. I would be shocked if, Ethan dropped any of those games on the sniper side. But, crazier things have happened. So just, AKA your Rand versus OP rights. Comebacks happen. So I'm thinking to myself, all right, you know what? I kind of realized after this shot, that was like my second lease on life. And I was like, you know what? I'm gonna go down. I'm not gonna go down without a fight. So I'm gonna try and just play the best spy games and best sniper games, mainly best spy games that I've ever played in Spy Party. I'm gonna try my best because I think for Ethan and I, we both hate losing. Obviously, I don't think Ethan's ever told me that, but like we are both very competitive people, I think, and so it was at this point in time where I thought to myself, after that shot, it kind of woke me up. I was like, what am I doing? Like, I need to like get my head in the game here. Like, all these shots and I made 3 technical mistakes on 3 different games, in on high rise. So, obviously kudos to Ethan for picking out my 1 week venue and doubling it. Obviously, credit has to be given there. Very nice strategical option, obviously. Um, I mean, you can't get better than that. That's just, great decision making to double, my worst venue. Um, but Ethan played great all 4 games. I mean, obviously shot me for the free win, took the free win. Salmon finished the only way he could have, and then that twin game that he had going on the spy side, it was probably going to be a win. And then even like, my spy game, he was able to suss out the bug from the banana bread. He's, sniffed out something wasn't right. So he ends up taking the shot correctly. And but anyway, yeah. So it's at this point where I'm starting to think to myself like, I just need to get my head in the game. Like I don't like if I'm gonna go down, I don't want to go down without a fight. So yeah. So it's library though. Ethan's probably gonna win the sniper game. I thought so. It's such a rough position to be in because if I lose the spy game, it's just gonna be rough the rest of the set. I'm gonna be playing from behind literally until probably courtyard if I make it there. So already very stressful. So let's see if I can pull out something. In 3, 2, 1, playing it. It's 2 to 6. Ethan needs 3 sniper wins, most likely to win. Obviously, gonna win on the spy side too, but sniper is considered the venue, the role that you're probably gonna win the most. So yeah. So Blink Twins start off in a mission progress place. I actually wanted to go next to Disney there, but I decided instead to go to the bookcase here, and it was at this point I was thinking like I probably should, cook a book and then put it back. So I'll have this book out for a little bit. I'll go take this nice free flirt right here and just keep this book for a little bit. Hopefully he forgets about it, forgets what color it's from because, library, there's 3 different bookcases. There's just so much going on at every single step of the venue that, it's really easy to forget the book color. So that was my plan. I wanted to at least hopefully maybe get a nice little microphone by Ethan. I thought this is my best chance. This is what I should go for. And Ethan, or not Ethan, Disney goes the other conversation. I just follow him in order to, keep flirting with him. I have 85% flirt, which means that any other flirt will do it. And go for the briefcase here. I get redirected from Disney, trying to make it look like I have some really nice pathing. And that was actually a really, really nice path, I have to say. I really wish that was like low lit, but it was not. So looking back, actually, that was a pretty nice path I took. So I won't lie, I'm going to glaze myself on that one. But yeah, he actually goes into my conversation, and now I already have flirt done, and now there's 3 minutes. So now the next logical thing to say is like, now when am I gonna dump this book? Because I can't really do anything else, aka I can't really do any statues or purloin without the book and not in my hand. So now that's what I'm kind of thinking. I'm thinking when's the best time. I know Ambassador and Toby are on this side of the venue, which means that the best time is gonna be when they're split, and green isn't gonna probably be like not really watched as well. So one's on the left side, one's on the right side. So that should lead your mind to the middle being the best. And so, anytime now, I would think that I would go to the green bookcase here, but I actually don't. I'm eyeing the blue bookcase, so maybe I'm going to go there. So yeah, now the time's ticking down, though. I really need to. I've cooked this book now for like 2 minutes. I've had this book for like 2 minutes now, and at any point now is probably the best time to put it back because if it did get through, okay, we actually do go to green bookcase. I actually wasn't sure there at the end. But if you notice Purloin and Bug Ambassador on the one side of the venue, meaning that like Ethan's not going to pay as much attention to the middle here. And I wait all the cycles like a good boy because I don't want to, induce a shot because I broke etiquette. And I'm actually not dead for this. I haven't noticed a laser. And so what you should kind of be thinking to yourself is, okay, maybe this microfilm is clean. And that's what I thought in the game. I was like, okay, maybe this microfilm's clean. I still need 3 more missions, one of them probably being contact. But I think we are okay and in the clear. But there's still a minute and 30 left. Nothing is a given at this point in time, so I have to really, really consider what I'm going to go do next. So go over to this side of the venue, and what do I decide to do? So I decide to add time, which is smart. Give myself another, basically minute to work with. Purloin and Bug on the other side of the venue. I don't have to worry about that. I noticed that they're on the other side of the venue, so I hurry up and decide to go for a quick cheese swap. So green swap, put it back, and then walk away, which is what I do. And then I walk away instantly. And the whole point of this is that high risk, high reward. He doesn't see me at the statue. And then if someone green swaps it, they look like they just swapped the statue. And text immediately goes there. And I still don't think Ethan has noticed it. So let's go to the sniper's perspective. I get offered a drink. I notice this laser's all around. Ambush walking. The swap just gone off. I green Purloin here because he's probably gonna look at other things. I'm assuming he noticed this green swap now, or I'm assuming he noticed the swap.
Banana bread.
Tex probably looked like the spy, and now a banana bread in the middle of all this chaos. Purloin is still pending. He has no idea who did the swap. This microphone was completely clean, and now Mission Win pending has gone off now to Mission Win countdown. He notices the Purloin, and then he shoots Rocker. Because Rocker, I'm assuming, was in the chain or near the chain and was already probably a suspect, and he was he was not on top of anything. So I managed actually to pull a spy win on Library when I'm down 2-6 against Ethan of all people to keep my hopes alive. So I'm like, okay, maybe now it was looking really, really grim, but now if I pull out a sniper win on Library, it's 4-6, and I'm back in this. If I lost the spy game, I probably would have been, out of it, I'm assuming. I don't know. But we'll see at the end what happens. But, at the end of the day, you don't want to be down 7 to what was it? 7-2. You don't want to be down 7-2 on Library of all venues. So I miraculously, sort of drum up enough chaos, and all of this entire sort of sequence was, in my opinion, the best that I could probably come up with because not only did I have the chaos of like the green swap when it came off, this purloin, while it wasn't necessarily planned, when I did get offered, I thought to myself, well, this green swap's gonna go off now. If he sees that, he's gonna be like, what the heck just happened? Banana bread's gonna go off before the purloin even goes off, and so then he'll be even more distracted from me, even if he has me in the reject chain. So yeah, just I think this was a great spy game played by me. I'm actually very very happy with this game. Um, it was just played really brilliantly. If you want to see the last sequence here, I'll speed it up. Basically, time out to give myself an extra minute to work with here, just in case things don't work out. Swap, you can kind of see it. Look at the top left. This is me at the swap. I put it down. He doesn't even see me over there. He still isn't looking at the right side. And yeah, I don't even think he's registered that I was even over there. So I'm all good. He highlights Alice because he doesn't know if she microfilmed or not. And Tech's now at that statue. He saw that. And I'll show you something here. So Ethan is an anti-tell guy. If so, that bounce right there, I would have low lit that. And the only reason why he didn't low light that was because he thought Tex could have swapped the statue, and he wasn't sure yet. So he was trying to parse things out to see like who could have swapped here. Purloin's pending at this point, so like while he's still stuck trying to figure out the swap, this Purloin has gone off. And notice it's next to Rocker, and so that's why he shoots Rocker later on.
Banana bread.
You get a green contact, mission win pending. All of this chaos was within probably like 20, 30 seconds of each other. So somehow I get in the mission win countdown here, and he notices the purloin. He Ethan's really great here also because he had the intuition to know that like something like a spy was finishing here or probably close to finishing. Like there's no way this is not a finish. And so he decides to take a shot at the right time, just the wrong person, and shoots Rocker. And probably is thinking to himself, I'm up, I'm still up like 4 points. It's all good. If this is the wrong shot, then I'll kick myself for it now, and then forget about it and keep sniping things later on because it doesn't matter. So now now it is 3-6, and it's looking at least a little less grim for me because now you know obviously I'll take this over what it was. So yeah, 3-6 now. He's playing as Queen on Library, and 3, 2, 1, playing it. And I want to mention too, Library is one of the venues where I'm the most comfiest on Sniper. I would say unless a spy does something like absolutely crazy, like fingerprint, a really really clean bug, and maybe like a really really like cheesy purloin or microfilm, I'm probably not gonna lose the Sniper game. Obviously I know it's possible, and saying that's like okay, dude, really, you could lose a Sniper game, but like I don't know. This is I would consider this to be one of my most comfy venues, and that's what I'm thinking going in. So that's sort of my thoughts. And okay, so now I highlight for statues. Luckily, this time not missing, the spy at the statues this time. Very very important to do. Just taking in the party. You guys probably don't want to see my laser flick around a million times, so I'll just show Ethan's perspective here. Two inspects already. We have a flirt, 51%. And if you're Ethan here, you don't want to do anything crazy. You don't want to like do anything cheesy. Like you just want to play a nice solid game. And if if the sniper shoots you, great, you still have a lead. If not, I think it's your best shot because at the end of a library game, there's a lot of people doing things. If there's a lot of people doing things, and maybe like a hardtail goes off like swap or purloin, that could really cause the sniper to induce a shot, just like I did in the last game. So you never know. Okay, Ambassador's passing by us. Ethan maybe like trying to see if a bug's a good idea, but I would say I'm really, really good at watching bug. It's probably the mission I'm best at watching. So naturally, you're probably not going to get a bug by me without any cover on library. So Ethan decides against it, and actually, this probably all stems from he's probably improving upon one of his games from the Winter Cup finals where I actually won, where he just did a walking bug as general right in my side of like my field of vision and just got shot for it. So this time we actually go for a white purloin here, but it's actually a smart one because at that time I was actually like really tunneled on like the other side of the conversation. However, I did see it, and I decided to take some lowlights on people who I know couldn't have been in the chain who I've been watching a little bit. But obviously, I saw Queen with a drink after the purloin has went off, so in my mind, I credited queen for the white purloin there. So if it was a white purloin, queen is my top suspect. And now if you're Ethan, and you're like, okay, Assassine Effect is probably on, uh, purloin most of the time, so I'm just gonna big chill. I don't want to do anything crazy. If I do anything crazy, it could get me shot. So if you're Ethan here, you have two options. You either put the pedal to the metal and just try to finish missions. Now, we haven't done contact yet, and now purloin with a white purloin and then contact is already just extremely risky, so you don't really want to just do that if you don't have to. So, yeah, now it's really a precarious spot. I'm still watching everybody. There's a lot of highlights in the party. A lot of people have been to statues, and other various reasons why I have people highlight. Now, you could ask, like, you could argue that it's really, really hard to watch for purloins or watch for missions when so many people are highlight, but I do it all the time, so it's all good. Like I'm used to it. I am very much used to it. So yeah, the amount you would think to yourself like, why don't you just highlight the 5 people who don't have anything? And the answer is that's boring. I like my highlights. Leave me alone. Um, but yeah, so Ethan Banana Bread's here. It's fake actually, so doesn't have real. And I think I probably took note of that just because obviously you gotta. I don't. Otherwise, I didn't know who had Purloin. I wasn't keeping track of the chain, admittedly. So um, this is one of the ways I said you could win is if like they get like a purloin that I wasn't paying attention to past. Luckily though, it was a white purloin, so at least I don't have to worry about losing to some crazy green purloin or something. And in a way, I kind of got bailed here that I did see queen at the purloin. So yeah, now there's 50 seconds to go. At this point, I'm watching for a fifth mission. Buns goes to center inspects, which I was really annoyed about because I was like, Buns could be like finishing missions or something. And if she has like Prince or a bug, I just lose. But as it turns out, Ethan happens to go for a bug, and it doesn't even take it. Yet again, I get the idea here, but I think if you white purloin, unless you really think you got away with it, and you're like low it or something, I don't think going for this like sort of an open bug is gonna work because there's no other cover for him other than like originally when you start out the bug in the conversation. And so, while I don't hate the idea because I'm a bug enjoyer connoisseur, I just don't think it's a good idea after you white purloined. So I think maybe could have gone for like some sort of fingerprint, go back to inspect swap or something and then contact maybe, but honestly, he was dead anyway. He was my top suspect for a white purloin. If Queen did any missions, Queen was getting shot. And that's what ended up happening. So Queen gets shot here. Yeah. So now it's 4-6, and I actually managed to stem the bleeding a little bit. And we're on the ballroom, which is yet again another venue which I feel like I am comfortable on as the spy and as the sniper. And I'm on my favorite spy, of course, which is Irish, who I love their bugs. In 3, 2, 1, planet. Probably starting off with a timeout here. If I had to guess, I went right to Windows. Or not. Oh, no, I do. Okay. Another green test. I've been hitting a lot of green time ads this set. Ethan sometimes can be on top of watching time ads, but I guess maybe this certain case, maybe he wasn't. So I got a little bit lucky that he was not on top of his time ad game like he usually is. Early Purloin, I know that I feel like early Purloins are underrated. The sniper maybe loses track of them sometimes. So I early Purloin, take this briefcase, and now is the game plan is just very obvious. If I'm not dead for the purloin, I just have to seek one more print and then finish up flirt contact, and I'm probably good. So do hit the green flirt here, and as you can see, I'm assuming he's probably definitely seen the purloin, but at this point in time, I mean he definitely has. Um, so now he's basically playing 3 of 7 ballroom because I'm gonna assume that he has no clue who did this, other than like white dress who took the white purloin if it was a white purloin, which it was not. So this exact scenario could have happened to me, last game. And I actually fake BB here, thinking to myself that like I could hide myself within the camouflage. And actually White Dress gets low lit. Okay, no, she gets brought back up, so that's fair. And Ambassador just put a print down at green, so I walk my happy butt over to green bookcase. And now Purloin and Fingerprint are actually complete. So now I only have to seduce and contact, and I already lived through one contact. Granted, there was no yellow triangle in my conversation, but it doesn't matter. Now I just have to walk away from the ambassador. I really hope I don't get like any bug credit here or anything crazy like that. I walk to Windows as not to go near the ambassador. Ambassador just insists on coming next to me, and if this was a casual game, I'm 1,000% bugging here. But I thought to myself, like, I'm not risking it. I'm just going to go walk to this spot next to Smallman, finish up my flirt and contact. I'm probably in the clear for this. But Ethan has shot me from this kind of position before, where I've had inspect and purloin done. It was an SMC. I think I was on either plane twin or blink twin, and I ended up taking one bad path, and then after a BB, I got shot. So in this scenario, I could actually still get shot. I was waiting for I wanted to move away from the conversation, but I didn't want to take another briefcase, so I wait for somebody else to take it, and then I go and chase Smallman down for a flirt. But actually, no, I BB first.
Banana bread.
So I BB first. Ethan probably has no idea. Yet again, if this purloin went scot free and he's not on top of Prince at all, then I'm probably fine. And so I go next to Smallman, green flirt, 51%, gonna finish it up. Michelin countdown, I'm not dead for either Purloin or Fingerprint or BB, so at this point I'm like, I'm probably fine, I'm not dying. Take a nice little victory sip. And I now am within one sniper game of bringing it back from what should have been 1 to 7, but was 2 to 6, all the way back to 5 to 6. So, the whole crux of this game sort of landed on the Purloin. If Ethan was on top of the Purloin instead of watching bugs so hard, and actually White Dress had a bug credit, so I'm shocked that White Dress didn't die on that contact. So that's actually great trigger discipline from Ethan, I have to say. Also, Seek technically did reject, so let's say he was perfectly on top of like the Purloin and he didn't see the fade. I guess it's down to 3 still, but either way, I mean the first BB would have maybe like got him a little jumpy, but I'm actually like shocked that he didn't just shoot White Dress after the contact. But yeah, I mean, the first briefcase after the purling goes off is going to be free unless I'm suspicious, which I wasn't. And you can kind of see his lasers on the right side not even looking at me. And most snipers, it's not just Ethan specific or me specific, but most snipers have a tendency to kind of watch the person that they're suspicious of. Maybe unless you're Rob and you can kind of hide it a little well. But like the laser always gives you some nice information to work with. And in this case, I actually had a lot of nice information to work with because I could clearly tell that, okay, like I'm not even being widely watched here, so I'm probably okay.
Banana bread.
And yeah, fake BB just to try and frame a bunch of people who could have done the purloin. Seeks in the yellow triangle, White Dress is in the yellow triangle. Could have easily been, you know, the BB for either purloin or if he was on top of it. So, with that out of the way, it is now 5 to 6, and now Ethan is now spying to maintain his lead instead of, you know, get a lead. So it is 5 to 6 with Red Dress as the spy. In 3, 2, 1, playing it. Almost spawned. We spawned like right next to the ambassador. I'm interested that like Smallman's actually the ambassador here. And we start off at center inspects. Now this is like a double-edged sword because while you do finish center inspects, you also will now have a center inspects credit / inspect credit the entire rest of the game. And we actually do finish the center inspects. So as you can see, now we will be credited with it the entire game. And we go next to Seek, which doesn't surprise me. Ethan wants to flirt. I don't really watch flirts too much. So yeah, right here, I mean, Ambassador's pretty safe. I probably was watching Briefcase really, really well. Ethan just hits another green flirt. I mean, these green flirts from Ethan are just really, really good this set. I think I've hit quite a few as well. So I think after the high rise, I think, you know, my play started to really improve. And Ethan has still been playing good, but now I've actually been able to challenge him with some games. So, okay, we actually fail a difficult print on the drink, which I'm actually assuming I wasn't on top of. But we're just waiting for our flirt cooldown to go down now. And we're just waiting to see what happens next. So yeah, not much is happening. We're going to flirt again. Yet again, another 2 green flirt. from Ethan here. Just very, very good green rate, as you know, everyone knows. Um, Still no other mission though. We need another mission. I the only really way for me right now to lose is if I panic shot. So I really gotta try my best to stay on top of everything here. But Ambassador's been pretty safe the entire game, so I kind of think I know I'm pretty sure that like I wasn't worried about bug the entire game. I think. Okay, we go next to Irish, and I'm assuming we time out here. I mean, it makes a lot of sense to time out here. Yes. Oh no, we don't. We don't actually time out here. Okay, so we're committing to finishing the game with 1 minute left. Probably just waiting for the briefcase here. At this point in time, Ethan is just kind of figuring out like what we're gonna do. We go in the DA conversation, and Tex and Taft are out, both our highlights. And I actually just shoot Tex, and I don't. I had a reason why I shot him, but I don't really remember it. This wasn't him finishing inspects, and I think I realized that after I shot him, I was like, wait, he was at that statue originally. So it was just a bad shot all around. So yeah, blue books. Yeah, so Tex. Yeah, this is another bad shot. There was really no reason for me to shoot. I think that this was just straight up paranoia. There's also no banana bread that's gone off. I'm pretty sure, unless I missed it. But oh wait, oops, I did the wrong score. My bad. Sorry. Sorry. It's 5-7. Okay. Uh, yeah. So this is just a bad shot. I think I was like a little bit like nervous again because I was like, oh my gosh, I could tie it up here, and so I take this like really hasty shot onto Tex because I thought, oh, what if he had like a bunch of different missions? But I don't even know what he could have even had because from my point of view here, like yeah, no bug. Maybe I mean he was at both bookcases, so I probably credit him with like microfilm and then inspects, obviously flirt maybe because I don't really watch flirt pairs, and then I don't even know what other mission he had. Maybe I was like really suspicious of like maybe I was like crediting a bug, but I didn't really see a bug, so which means that this is just pure paranoia, and I was just completely seeing things probably. So unfortunately, now it's back to 5-7, and yet again I have to find a venue sweep here, and I only have, I believe, two more venues to do it, which is Tayen and Courtyard. And Ethan actually was the one who drafted Tayen, but like it's such a blessing for me because I now have a chance to get a spy win on it. So yeah, and pretty sure I'm Kane. Yep, I'm Kane. So now we are starting off on Kane in Tayen. So probably the best chance for a spy game. I'm probably not going to get a spy win on Courtyard. So I really need to make it happen here. So Kane in 3, 2, 1, playing it. Try and get back into form. So yeah, just kind of start off at the back. Go for an early bug here, but it doesn't take because he leaves. And at this point, I'm like, I hope I don't get shot for that. However, I did not get shot for that, which means that arm was probably invisible. So I thought to myself, if he comes back here again, I could just safely bug. And I bug anyway, yet again, because if the first one wasn't seen, what are the odds that the second one's seen? And I'm not even highlight here, so I'm going to assume it was clean. But, from my perspective, I don't really feel any other additional heat from the laser, meaning I think the bug is pretty clean. So at this point now, when you get an early bug like that, you have two options, right? You either play extremely solid and safe for another minute, because you're a little bit scared and weary of the fact that the sniper could just shoot you for if you go immediately do another mission, or you could go immediately do another mission and dare the sniper to shoot. So I could go to center inspects right now, go do another flirt, and then contact, and then say, okay, shoot me. Like, do you have this bug? But I go for a fingerprint here, and I don't hate this either because now I only need one more fingerprint after this. to finish up fingerprints, and then at that point, it's only just flirt and then contact to finish it up. So not much to say is happening right now. I mean, now I'm just gonna basically try my best to finish flirt. Also, I could contact here. Mostly everyone's in. I think two people aren't in, but
Banana bread.
um, I decided that it doesn't matter. I think that, there's probably a bunch of people that are at least a little suspicious in both conversations. So now everyone besides me now has BB, and I actually hit a white test here for 73%. And it's at this point in time where I only need one more mission to win. Because I'm not dead for the flirt, so I'm probably just fine no matter what I do. I just need one more flirt. So as long as I'm not too slow about finishing flirt and finding the other print, which in case I could just go to this center inspect briefcase over here, and that's probably what I should do. So let's see what happens here, though. Ethan, I don't think is suspicious of me. Has Irish and Duke highlight. Another flirt that was it a green test? No, it's another white test. So another white test on the flirt. So my past two flirts have been white. One was 73%. Now it's 93%. So if I wanted to go for a nice little cheeky play here, I'd immediately go to the briefcase right now and finish up my last fingerprint. But for whatever reason, I decide to go back over here to Windows, which is a big mistake because now if someone takes the briefcase, I have to go to the green bookcase for my last print. But I was doing this just to reset my flirt cooldown, so I got a little tunnel visioned. And actually, he leaves. So now I have no choice but to go this thing, and I do it really, really quickly. And it's at this point I'm not able to just go and flirt with him because it's an etiquette break. I can't go to statues with a book. He'll notice it. And I think me picking up the book really, really quickly kind of sold the deal. I instantly stop talk to that so that hopefully if I'm not sus, maybe he won't shoot me. And I don't know. I'm assuming that this wasn't just for like a purloin. I'm gonna assume, but if it was, that's just mega unfortunate that Toby is standing right behind me. But I'm assuming that this shot is literally just the fact that I picked up the book really quickly, and then I started just chasing my ST at the end and tried to insta talk. And the part about this entire like sequence of events hurts me like so deep because had I hit a green test on one of those last like two flirts, I would have been in mission win countdown before 10 seconds with the book, and Ethan didn't even take a shot because let's see when I finished up the last fingerprint. Fingerprint finished at 19 seconds, so I would have been in mission win countdown right now. And as you can see, I'm not dead for it. So I actually should have gotten away with this game if I had hit a green fort. So if I had Ethan's action test rate, maybe I would have won this spy game. But I didn't. So now Ethan has 3 match points. He has to win either one of the next 2 spy games or the next courtyard sniper game to win the entire set. So yeah, actually it's 5-8 now. Ethan is 1 game away from winning. I have the just monstrous task of defending the sniper side of Taeyen, then having to somehow pull out a win on courtyard on the spy side, and then still I still have to win my sniper game on courtyard. Nothing's a given. So the road is still very, very long for me here. Nothing's free, and you know, there's still a lot of things that can happen in this match. But it's 5-8 is very, very stressful for both sides because Ethan only needs one more game to win the set, to win that nice, cool $150. I have to I have to hold on somehow. And Taeyen, I'm not extremely comfortable on Taeyen, so nothing's guaranteed. And I also want to point out too, by the way, it's really, really nice of Ethan to take that shot there at the end. He could have shot like one of his other random highlights, but he was still disciplined enough to watch the entire party and shoot Kane, who is me, because I'm over here aggressively flirting and taking books like a madman. So, now, we are almost approaching the end of the set. Someone is going to win in the next 3 games here, or tie. We'll see what happens, but there's still a lot of life left. So let's see what happens here. So Ethan is on Seek now in 3, 2, 1, playing it. Let's watch from his perspective. When I start a Taeyan game, I have to watch Bug as the sniper. Notably, though, I don't think anybody really had strong Bug credits. And And actually, what's funnily, Ethan shakes his camera because Red Dress walked away. He redirected Red Dress. I didn't even know this was a thing, but apparently you could redirect somebody from the back window case, from the back window pads. So we take the briefcase here. Very, very angry about the fact that our ST just did that to us. Rightfully so. If I was Ethan, I'd be mad. But hey, I had my bad ST luck that last game. Technically, I also still would have won if the ST didn't just leave me right before I got that book. So, yeah. So Ethan now with one fingerprint in the conversation with his ST. And now for me, it's just routine as usual. Hits another green flirt. I mean, Ethan's green rates are just crazy this set. He just hits so many green tests. Like, just very, very strong player. And we take a drink innocently, so no Purloin's gone off for it. Red dress now goes to a statue, so I'd probably highlight it. General rejects. So yeah, there's not much happening right now. We could go to center inspects and go next to our ST, but there's no need to do anything crazy. So yeah. And he's watching where our ST lands. Probably going to switch conversations to go between Bling Twin and Red Dress. That's what I would do. But let's see if he does it. Probably going to sip and then leave if I had to guess. But there is a briefcase right behind us, so maybe we're kind of waiting. We take a BB. Let's off 2 lowlights, so the exact amount of lowlights I had in my game. Interestingly enough, though, I don't lowlight Irish, so maybe a little bit of a mistake, but... Oh, no, okay, I did actually lowlight her, so nice. So, yeah, I was being disciplined there, and I was trying my absolute best not to just, do whatever. I think I highlight Red Dress there. Maybe I mis-highlight her, or just remembered I had to highlight her for the statues. I don't know. But yeah, we go in the spot I said we were probably going to go in like 30 seconds ago. We almost have 1 minute left, and so Ethan's kind of in the same spot that I'm in, where like Flirt's not done. We still need another mission besides Fingerprint. So there's still a lot of stuff to do in this game. Nothing's like, guaranteed. And, I have 3 highlights. I don't know if anyone has statues. I'm assuming probably, but I don't have any like good bug credits in the game yet. And look, Ethan goes to statues now, which has a fingerprint on the center statue, which I'm aware of. So now I'm watching for a second cycle to see if he's finishing middle inspects. I'm assuming he's already done with floor. And then I have the rough task of deciding if he's done with the shot. I highlight him, and I'm deciding if he wants to shoot him. I decide I have no choice but to shoot him here, and I take the shot onto Seek, finishing up his prints and inspects. I don't think I had the briefcase 100%. I thought it was possible for him to have another print, but I somehow managed to hold on and shoot him for a center inspect and fingerprint finish. And obviously you credit Flirt there, but if you credit Flirt there, that's 4 missions for Seek, and so you have no choice but to shoot him. So barely keeping myself alive, I now get to go into Courtyard to spy for my tournament life here. It's 6-8. Ethan still just needs 1 win, and the stakes couldn't be higher. You know, the rivalry, the money on the line, everything is just on the line here. So let's see what I can pull out of my hat. Courtyard is probably one of the easiest venues to snipe. Some might say the easiest one to snipe, because you know that the spy is probably going to inspect, seduce, and contact. But the question is, what is the other mission? You can see most of the venue at any given time. So going into this game, I probably want to do something weird, aggressive off the bat, or go for a frame game, or play a really, really nice solid game and somehow try to get one by. So let's see what I decide to go with. In 3, 2, 1, playing it. And I go for an instant chaos bug, because who else other than me would do that, because that is my entire brand. And it's not seen, and I can tell from the laser. So at this point in time, I luckily get a chaos bug, 51% flirt. And I'm pretty sure it's clean. So now the path to victory is very obvious. I BB. I now have 2 missions done. And the precursor for a rush is already set up now. I need to go to inspect and get 1 more green flirt or 2 more white flirts. And it's done. I go to inspects here near Ambassador to make Ethan think I'm not going for anything suspicious here. Now is the time to get shot. If he had any inkling of this bug, I'm dead right here instantly. Put the statue down correctly as to not raise any alarm bells. And now I am one flirt away. Queen's moving, so I don't want to like make myself suspicious. I go to the window pad just to wait. Obviously, she now has like an empty spot next to her, so it's very clear. I'm just gonna go over there because there's no way if I have any no if I know at this point I probably have no suspicion for the early bug. So even though it's this late in the set in this tense, I still don't want to like throw out logic and my good spy play. So I'm like, okay, I'm probably fine. This bug is probably safe. Flirt 85%. I don't hit the green test. I'm a little annoyed about it, but it's all good. I'm not dead yet. So I have 2 minutes. I have 2 whole minutes to find the easiest mission in the game. I take a drink. That way Toby doesn't offer to me again. And so that he doesn't think I purloined. And at this point in time, things are looking great. I am just completely on cloud nine because I might actually be able to somehow pull away a spy win on Courtyard, 6-8 with an early bug in Astatine style. I love bugging, especially early on in Chaos. It's just such a beautiful, game and just a beautiful addition to the narrative. And it's still not guaranteed to me to win because Ethan still has one more spy game. But yeah, obviously flirt cooldown goes away, and I flirt for my final flirt to finish the game off. Mission win countdown, 1 second. I'm not shot. I shake my camera because I am so happy that I somehow managed to pull it off here. I'm gonna show off the bug in a second, but let's update that score right now. It's now 7-8. 7-8, and now I only need one more sniper win on probably the easiest venue to snipe. I am feeling incredible. I was completely checked out. I think in the high rise set, I was thinking like I don't have a chance. It's just completely over. And now it's 7-8. I am sniping for my tournament life on Courtyard after being down like 2-6 on all these like venues that I'm like Ethan should have this in the bag. So I'm incredibly like on cloud nine right now. Like I can't even believe it. So now is the time. I have to snipe for my tournament life. But let's watch this bug first from his perspective. Oops. Let's play that again. So you can see my arm right here is outstretched. However, there's other people to watch. So Ethan is probably watching my other arm there, sees that, no bug has gone off. And the way that I plan the bug is that I want to do it like far away from the laser. So I saw his laser was right there. So I want to do it with my right arm and walk this way, go to the window pad. So that way maybe like when I get on the pad, like it kind of hides the snapback a little bit. You need to kind of maximize your time and efficiency there to sort of hide the snapback, which I managed to do by landing on the pad really, really quickly. And yeah, obviously from the laser, I'm judging that I'm probably not a big suspect for this. Even if I am, I'm dead anyway. So I have to kind of play as if it's just completely like not seen. And now it's 7-8, and now I have one more win. I was on cloud nine. It's just such a beautiful moment because the narrative, it's me versus Ethan, like that creative spy, the crazy chaos spy versus the, just dominating sniper, crazy good sniper, you know, and I come up with one of my bugs, my signature bugs that I love to do. So just very very happy about this. I was so happy to win the spy game. And honestly, if I lost the next game, at least it would have been a nice set. So, but that remains to be seen still because we'll see if I do lose. It's just at that point in time, I was very, very happy because, I know if I win or lose this, I'm happy either way. So now, one last game to go to save this set and to take it into overtime. Ethan is on boots and on Courtyard, which is probably one of my favorite venues to snipe on. So let's see what happens here. 3, 2, 1, playing it. And obviously Duke starts out at statues, so I highlight it. Ambassador is extremely safe. There's no bug. I noticed that Disney's the first, rejector. And honestly, at this point in time, I noticed the party's so safe that I'm just watching people for like early flirt progress. And I noticed that Buns goes and instantly talks next to Seek after just being in a conversation, which pegged me as spy like, because I was like, that could easily have been a spy, like hurry up and just getting a flirt out of the way. And so I actually highlight this to show that I thought of this, just in case like it got casted in the future, which it's being now. But so to sort of keep a mental note for myself, and just so that I'm not like gonna forget like what she did. And so, yeah, still watching everybody in the party there. That highlight, like I said, I'm not tunneling on it at all. I'm still going to be watching paths and stuff. I noticed that, after about a little bit, I think Seek was actually not in that conversation. And then when he did come back in the conversation, Boots talked. So I kind of flirt paired Boots and Seek here. And if I happen to still manage to shoot Boots at the end of the game, then, the one game I decide to finally find a flirt pair and I actually take the right shot for it, that's great. That's just great. Ethan takes a briefcase here. Extremely spy-like to go for an early print like this.
Banana bread.
BB's trying to get a low light. I fake low light it to make it seem like he's, low lit. That way he could maybe like go do something really aggressive and I can just shoot him for it. I thought he was going to green purloin there. A very common cheese tactic to do, but he doesn't. He just decides to play solid still. He has 2 minutes left. Doesn't need to go crazy because he knows if he's not low lit, then he's probably just going to be dead. So I watched the purloin there really, really heavily. And he's still my top suspect because he is just doing everything a spy would do. And then goes back to seek yet again. So at this point in time, I'm like, I think I already found the spy. So now I am tunneling on the spy because I am tunneling on Boots because I'm like, there's no way. So now at this point, I'm thinking next time Boots goes to a statue or another print, she's just dead. I'm shooting her. And at this point, like, yeah, I'm moving my laser around pretty confidently. And Boots, let's see, what did she do? I'm watching her pathing, watching to make sure she doesn't get like a cheeky bug next to Ambassador. Just goes back to the window pad. I'm still watching other people, but like obviously they all don't have other missions. No swaps gone off yet. This time in the set, I'm finally capable of catching swaps. Maybe I credit Kane for a bug there, but I said if Kane gets the bug, I mean he deserves to win. And then Boots goes to statues, and what do? I shoot Boots because I thought to myself, I'm like this has to be some sort of flirting with Seek, and I managed to secure a tie 8-8 in regulation because I managed to catch some nice early flirting, and then from there stemmed all the behavioralism and all the spy pattern recognition that I have from hours of playing this game. So I managed to finally pull it back just in the nick of time to save myself from a loss. So I managed to sweep those last 3 games. As I said, there's 3 match points for Ethan, and I managed to claw my way back. So, as I mentioned before, overtime is now going to hit. Now it's overtime, and we are going to play Modern until one of us stands. And by that, I mean whoever takes up 2 points up on the other. So, for example, if I were to win the next 2 Modern games and the score is 10-8, that means that I win. So, let's get going with that. And obviously there is no next game, so I'm gonna quit the replays menu. So that was those 8 games, and then I kind of hid the matches along one of these just so that I wouldn't spoil the result. I put it under ancient because I thought, oh, modern sounds like modern, so I thought, okay, modern, ancient. And if you're seeing the timestamp difference, there was a little technical difficulties during one of the games. Ethan's internet died, I believe, during one of my sniper games, and so we had to postpone the match for 2 hours, and it picks back up. So if you see him, if you're like, wait, why'd you guys take a 2 hour break? That's why. So now, now the score is 8-8, so we are back to tied, and so now the first person to get 2 wins above the other will win, and I am going to be spying first. So now probably one of the most stressful spy games again because I don't want to take an early deficit on the tiebreak. So we will start out on the spy side. So I'm Boots. And then 3, 2, 1, playing it. And I can already tell you my plan this game was to play slow. That way I don't want to, because I'm going to try and increase my chance for a civ shot if I can. I'm sure both of our nerves are just running extremely high at this point in time. Ethan might be a little bit discouraged because he just threw a little bit of a lead there, but obviously nothing to feel bad about. I mean, Ethan's been playing great the whole set. Maybe a couple games here and there I was managed to outplay him, but I go to early inspect here just because I know that it's basically free. Ethan doesn't highlight for statues or anything unless you have a weird wonky path into them. So I'm like, okay, we're probably okay to just, do this here. So yeah, I start with some early inspects here. The bar is pretty busy. There's a print at the bar now. So Ethan already has quite a lot on his mental load right now. So I don't think I really noticed any of this in game, but I'm just pointing it out for you guys so you can improve upon your game. Like if it was me, I would just go to bar here and purloin or something. Like I would delegate and then purloin just because there's just so much activity early on at the bar, and there's a print involved. So then you could put some paranoia on somebody for prints maybe if he wasn't on top of them. So, But either way, I get another flirt with Seek. If you notice, also it was the last flirt player from last game. I don't think I even did that intentionally, to be completely honest, but you know, um, is a funny coincidence. So yeah, we're just kind of chilling out, watching the game here. There's not much to say. Ethan's not really, showing any indication of being extremely sus. Probably just watching paths here because Ambassador's pretty safe. Flickering over to Kane every once in a while and Queen maybe to watch that they're not bugging. Watching microfilm here from Sorry and Wheels. I go to finish up my flirt next to Seek. I really wish I took this bug here. I could have took a reverse drive by and then he would have landed right next to me, and so I might have gotten away with it. But I don't end up taking the bug because, like I said at the beginning, I want to stay nice and solid this game, and then see what happens from there. But Flirt's done. There's 2 minutes left. If I wanted to, I could, inspect swap and then banana bread. I could inspect purloin, inspect microfilm. Inspects are just a good idea because it's still testing him. It's asking him a question saying, are you on top of this? Are you on top of these inspects? Nice logical path here, bouncing off of the little couch thing there into this convo. Your pathing has to be really, really good on Modern against Ethan, otherwise you're going to get crushed. Maybe not being too crazy about pathing lowlights here because Ethan knows I know a lot of the paths on this menu. So, but yeah, I end up taking a book here. See if I do anything with it. I honestly don't remember what I do. I don't know if that was like a redirect because I saw Seek going out of conversation. I'm going to assume that's what that was, but yeah. Yeah, text with some really nice paths there. I would have low let that probably. Um, but yeah, that's what Ethan. Yeah, okay, and actually takes down the highlight from him because yeah, the paths were just all really really good from text. So yeah, I agree with that. Like I would have low let him, but yeah, I think Ethan's just trying to be like really like disciplined here because you don't want
Banana
to drop
bread.
the first freaking overtime game. And yeah, Ethan has like a lot of nice low lights here. Alice is also a low light. White dress could also potentially be a low light. There's 40 seconds left though, and I still need 2 missions. I should have just put this book back, but yet again, I think my nerves were also high. So at this point in time, I'm like, okay, I have no choice. I have to go put this book back, and then I probably have to either inspect or bug because I can't really I don't really have time to delegate. He's gonna notice that. Put the book back. That's 3 missions. My last mission was gonna be a bug here, but I ended up getting just shot for it because I think he was just overly suspicious of the he was overly suspicious of the transfer microfilm there. So good shot. Nothing to complain about there from me. There's nothing to say. I mean, obviously, I my pacing got away from me there. Due to nerves probably, but what are you gonna do? So that game is pretty self-explanatory. So let's move on to the next one, where Ethan now is going to be spying for the win in 3, 2, 1, playing it on my favorite spy. Okay, and yeah, just chilling out, watching where Smallman goes probably. Watching to see of all his options. If Smallman went in, so he was gonna go chase Smallman if he went into the conversation there, but he didn't. So he actually is just trying to still weigh out his options, seeing where Ambassador goes, see maybe he can get a nice cheeky bug, but just chilling out. I mean, like he probably has the same idea as me, where he probably doesn't want to overdo it this first game because obviously, you don't want to like just instantly give your opponent a win. But I also know some pathing on this venue, so obviously, I'm not only mission counting here. Seek probably could have been low lit there, but I said I don't want to take like crazy low lights unless I'm 99% positive that they're not the spy. And so yeah, we're still just big chilling here. There's no mission progress from Ethan yet. Maybe you could argue he's going a little bit too slow, but this is also a good way to play. Rob plays this way where he kind of lets like the people in the party get a lot of suspicion early on, and then tries to do some like late rush to try and sort of, you know, not save the game, but like save the pace of the game. General with some nice pathing there. And yeah, we still don't have any progress here. And as a sniper, I'm just kind of watching everything still, making sure that nothing's happening. He goes for the briefcase here. I probably was on top of this. But let's watch the briefcase return. I thought that was a little bit late of a return, so I was kind of like, thinking about it in my mind. And then we take a nice short, like, little trip into conversation. Very spy-like to do that. So, yeah, nothing too. It's just nothing crazy there. Obviously, I'm not low-lighting or highlighting Irish for that, but I think I did register that in my mind and was a little weirded out by it. And then yeah, and then we go over to Windows. I watch the feet. It was a weird path. Smallman also watched checks. I look up at the top right to make sure that I wasn't seeing things, and that would have. And then yeah, so the low lights come off, and now it's down to two. It's down to Smallman and Irish, and this is a great spot to be in because I don't think Irish really has anything else other than that, like fingerprint. And then I think Small was at like bookcases or something early on. But Smallman to me doesn't really have any progress. Perlin didn't go off or anything like that. So now I get to watch Irish and Smallman for their pathing, and then I'm good. So one of them will probably do some sort of pathing anti-tell, and then I will be able to shoot the other person and pick up the first sniper win here. So this should be pretty nice. And that was also a really nice path there from Smallman. I noticed that it looked like a slide, but I was still trying to remain a little bit cautious, so I didn't do anything crazy. And notably, Irish still doesn't even have any like good mission progress here. We go next to the briefcase. Go next to the briefcase here, but then White Dress picks it up. It was good etiquette for Ethan not to just pick up the briefcase. Watch check again. And here I'm watching Smallman because if he goes to statues here, I'll be able to see a slide perchance. And then let's see if we get to see a slide from Smallman. So I'm watching it. You see the slide to the left, and I can now confidently shoot Irish, who I already didn't like her paths early on, and I just decided to take the shot on her. So yeah, Ethan didn't do anything in that game, but I was able to find him and kind of like choke him out that game with being on top of his paths a little bit, and then also the time ad. So we got a little lucky there that we saw that nice that briefcase return was not quite correct from Ethan's side, so we got nice and lucky there. Okay, but now I'm Seek, and yeah, so now the score is back to tied. So we are at 9-9, and I am on Seek in 3, 2, 1, playing it. And I start next to Ambassador here. I think I really wanted to go for like a nice early bug where you stand next to the Ambassador and you just hit plant bug on Ambassador, but right now I'm not close enough, so it wouldn't take. So I'd have to walk past him. And so I was thinking about my options the entire time. I was like, I could wait for the best moment to do it, but I had to tell my bug brain, my bug monkey brain to slow down and not just click the bug button. Just to play a nice little safer, because like I knew like as a strategy going into this, I wanted these modern games to go as long as possible, because if they went as long as possible, that'd be the best chance for me to catch Ethan off guard one of these times and score a spy win. So not much happening. Same thing as Ethan's game. We're both playing pretty slow. I think we're both just playing way too safe right now because we know like what's at stake. We're both playing for like this. Now it's like whoever wins, gets all the glory, kind of, so to speak. So we're both kind of just trying to do our best here to win. But nice looking briefcase return by me. I don't have any issues with that. Nice reasonable path next to Salmon. So yeah, my path is looking good there. Nothing, no reaction really from Ethan. But Ethan already has 3 lowlights this game, so I think realizing that like I'm still not on AI control, but I think we both don't really ever AI control because in my opinion, like I still only shoot for missions. I don't just shoot for pathing. So like unless your AI control decides to do inspects and prints, chances are you're probably not going to get away with it. So in my opinion, AI control is kind of useless against Ethan and myself, because I have seen people try to AI control against Ethan, and maybe like sometimes against myself, but I'm not a pathing sniper in that sense where I'll put that much value on paths. So yeah, so let's see. So I get the flirt done. So yet again, my pacing is still fine. I think my pacing is a lot better than Ethan's was last game, where I have flirt done and I still have a fingerprint. And I actually delegate to Salmon here. And I'm going to assume maybe this was seen because the laser has kind of stopped, or we're just watching Buns. I don't know, but the laser is kind of like being a little bit weird right now. Buns goes to Inspects, but no highlight
Banana
from
bread.
Ethan. Fake highlight. I banana split here, BB, and then instantly leave. Perlin doesn't even go off, and then I get shot. So yeah, good from Ethan there. I think honestly saw the send. It looked like he saw the send on the Purloin there. Maybe it was suspicious because I also had a print. Maybe it was suspicious of a path. I don't know. I'm assuming no other person was really suspicious that game. And then also, yeah, sees me BB split probably was more than enough in his mind. It is weird that he took the shot there without seeing the Purloin. So kind of an aggressive shot, putting a lot of trust in me that I would banana split there. But it does end up paying off, and it is a correct shot. But man, like just nerves of steel to take that shot in overtime. So, but yeah, good shot nonetheless. Okay, so now we are general in 3, 2, 1, playing it. So Ethan is general. I'm sniping. Still got to snipe for the win here. Or still got to snipe just to stay in the game here. Ethan spies for the win here, and the set's over. He wins. Awkward looking path there. I don't think I saw it because I'm watching Sorry. I highlight Sorry for the bug just because. Okay looking path from Ethan there, but I wasn't watching it. I don't think. Taking my statue low lights, low lighting the cast, standard stuff. And yet again, we're just kind of chilling in conversation here. My goal is still, as usual, just to be on top of all the missions and stuff. And while I'm not on top of missions, I want to be watching some nice paths. White Dress has a slide at the bar there, but I typically only judge slides mainly based off their feet, unless it's like a really egregious one. And if you don't know, I keep saying slide. You can kind of see like the character model slide without moving by their feet. If you watch like in like a linear straight line path, and so that's what I'm kind of watching here. So we go to inspects though. And we also noticed that the ambassador's close by. There's no one at bar. Our ST's over there. So, a potential plan could be to bug ambassador and then go flirt or something. Or we could go contact because a lot of people are in conversation. Ethan has a lot of options here. He chooses to bug here. And I actually do credit this bug. I was trying to watch the arm, but like I said on I think the second or third gallery game, that General's walking bug is really really good, and that's just an example of how because it looks exactly like his just normal walking animation. So yeah, we end up going to the bar here, kind of like I said, because there was a lot just going on, so it makes sense to just do that. But the only bad part is Ethan knows that we're highlight because I highlight for statue inspects. Ethan's no stranger to playing me, so he knows that that's what I highlight for. So yeah. Yep, so obviously takes the delegate here, and we have to flirt here. We go next to, we can squeeze ourselves in between wheels and teal here. That's probably a little bit sus thinking back on it, but I don't think I really paid it much mind. But so far, yeah, I mean, I did credit the bug, and if he goes back to statues, I will obviously be a little suspicious of that too. Not a green test though for 30. It's a 34% flirt, so unfortunately not a green test, but it's all good. And so now we are going to go into the DA conversation. Makes a lot of sense. There's quite a few people out though. I think 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 now, and now Double Agent actually leaves. So poor Ethan now just has to kind of cut his losses and figure out some other sort of game plan. And I'm still not really. I decided in this set that I'm not gonna ever take a panic shot, so I'm gonna make sure that they have missions or a lot of suspicion on the character before I take a shot. So all these highlights in the party, but for example, Perlin hasn't gone off. There's no swap, so there's really no reason for me to be suspicious here. And then General misses the pads, and like I said, I'm not taking shots unless I'm very suspicious. That is definitely not a legal path. AI would not miss a pad like that. That looked really awkward and human-like. He also had the bug credit and was finishing inspects up. So yeah, that's just going to be a sniper win in my favor. Okay, next game I am white dress. And then in 3, 2, 1, playing it. So now let's see what happens here. I start off early at the bar, and I probably decide to cheese it. I'm gonna assume. Yep. I don't remember all these games in detail, but I know how I play, so I'm oh, I landed at bar this early on. But here's the thing, the bar on Modern can be really, really busy sometimes that even if you get a really, really quick delegate like that and you delegate, instantly it still doesn't go off. So I don't like that I went to the window pad there. I should have just committed fully to the delegate instead of being like a little bit like, oh, well, I won't go too hard on it. So I'd probably delegate here. Yep, I do. And so now, so about like 10 seconds per every bar visitor that goes. So if there's like 6 people at bar and you delegate, you're probably not going to get it off in time. So in this case, there's about like 5, 6 people I think that were there before Duke. So at this point in time, I'm praying that it like goes off, but I don't think it's going to. So now I just go and chase my flirt. And it's 34%, so, me being the noob that I am, I don't hit a green test. So, but it's all good. We're still just waiting on things to happen in this game. I go to inspects, yet again, abusing the fact that Ethan does not take statue highlights. So later on in the game, I could go back to statues, and as I always say, it's kind of like asking a question to the sniper, because, with perfect play, I always say that sniper will win over spy. And so, like, you're kind of asking the sniper a question, like, are you on top of this? Are you sure you have this down? Were you actually paying attention to the inspects all game? Like so, like you never want to like not do something because you think the sniper is like on top of it, because that's not the way to play spy, right? Like you should play as the spy in a way such that you can kind of control your fate and you can kind of make plays so that you know where you're at in the game. I take an early
Banana
BB
bread.
here because there's not a lot of people uh, out of conversation, maybe like 4 or 5 people. And yeah, there is 5 people out. It's also noteworthy to say that the delegate did not end up taking, which is very, very sad. And now in the game is kind of hard to win. I don't know why I took a really early BB like that, because now not only did I take a really, really early BB, I now have to contend with um, Ethan taking pathing low light. So like say one pathing low light. Oh, and I actually highlight for this inspect. So as I said, I asked the question, were you on top of the inspects? Well, the highlight just told me like absolutely, I'm on top of them. Don't try this ever again. So yeah, so obviously very on top of it, and can't really blame him. So now he's just watching my path into conversation. That path was really, really bad. I'm probably just dead at this point. I do anything, I'm probably dead. So at this point in time, though, the briefcase is next to me. So I'm kind of trying to wait until I'm just trying to wait until yeah, I'm waiting until someone takes it, and then I can go back and move again. I have 1 minute left, and as you know, my options are very, very limited here. I have to go back and finish this flirt, obviously. There's no other plan. But after flirt, the question is, what do I do? Ambassador just left a drink at, or just left a fingerprint at bar. But the only way for me to capitalize on that is if I literally go take this briefcase right after this flirt, and then go back to bar, which is almost definitely going to get me shot, or I won't even have enough time for it. So yeah, the only good option looking here right now is probably microfilm, and my ST agrees and just leads me there. So now the only option that I really have right now is the blue bookcase, obviously. I'm going to probably take a blue bookcase. I have 30 seconds to at least cook the book, maybe go into conversation for a little bit, and then insta slam it into another one of the bookcases, which is probably what I'm going to do. There's no other options here, so it makes sense that that's probably what I'm going to do. And yeah, there's 10 seconds left. I decide to go to Big Green Bookcase. And Ethan, of course, on top of it, I think probably for the path from the front and the inspects, can probably deduce that White Dress is just an extremely sus looking player. So, that obviously is very, very very, very obvious. I also just noticed I think the score line got off center there. I hope I just accidentally clicked it, but I hope it wasn't like that the whole time. But at least the number wasn't cut off and you could still see, the FireLordEthan. And also, I'm going to be right back. So, I know it's almost, we're approaching the 2 hour mark. So, just take a second to get like a little break or something, and I will be back probably before the 2 hour mark. So I will be right back. All right, there we go. I am back. I just decided to get some water and take a little breather because I've been talking for so long. Um, so we're back now, and it's 10:11 Ethan right now, and so yet again we are back in the spot where if Ethan gets a sniper win, we are going to I am going to lose and Ethan is going to win. So Ethan yet again spying for the win on looks like plane twin. In 3, 2, 1, playing it. So let's see where he goes. Obviously trying to line up with his ST, makes a lot of sense. Goes next to her on window pads and hits that, green flirt. Very, very nice. And yet again, modern, normally not too many people go to bar. Sometimes it happens, but not often. So, have to memorize a couple people at bar. And then same thing with statues, not like seven, like 5 people aren't going to statues at the beginning of the game. So Taft and Smallman are our 2 highlights at the beginning here. And Ethan actually will now go to the red bookcase for a print, which I am pretty certain that I was on top of this. And I also think that, okay, yeah, I was going to say this. So I didn't know if he was going to pick up that briefcase, but he didn't. And then he goes for a microfilm here, and I just end up seeing it. And so before he microfilms, let's look at the state of the party here. Ambassador's completely safe. Obviously, I don't have to worry about swap this early because if the swap goes off, I have it down to my highlights, which is 3. And obviously, one of the people from bar is going to the briefcase, so I'm going to watch it. And then Queen's already in conversation. Therefore, if Delegate goes off, I have it down to Queen, and then whoever was next to Queen, which is General. And I had that in my mind. So I don't have anything else really to watch except for Sorry and Plane Twin. I have to watch their delegates or their animation microfilms. I'm sorry, and Buns is also at the window pad. But I mean, yeah, when Ambassador's super safe like this, statue swaps are really taken care of, and then the bar is kind of being watched pretty well and tracked. Then I have a lot of time to watch microfilm here. So Ethan goes for an ill-timed microfilm, but he doesn't know it, of course. But I mean, even if you shouldn't be microfilming if the ambassador is like completely safe like this. So maybe a little bit of a mistake, but I don't hate it because Ethan's thought process is if I get this microfilm out of the way, then green microfilm is going to be basically free later on, and so I can just go for that. And so that's what he's sort of banking on here. Except luckily, I just caught the microfilm from Red because I wasn't really watching much else, and he's just in complete view of me. So got lucky there. I think Ethan maybe, I think nerves are hitting him a little bit because I think that that's such an aggressive there's aggressive plays, but like that is extremely aggressive because I think doing something like that in plain vision without like the ambassador having any stress going on around him is just extremely risky. But obviously high risk high reward because you get away with that. I don't credit you for a microphone because you're like in like my field of vision, and then you can go to green easily. So I definitely understand the idea there. Maybe a little bit maybe a little bit premature, but obviously, I'm not one to talk because I can't even hold a statue properly, as seen in the high rise game. So what do I know? Um, but yeah, so back to tied now. It's 11-11, and I am now on Disney. In 3, 2, 1, playing it. Still trying to break Ethan's sniper here. Snipers have just consistently been winning. I start off at green bookcase here, and I instantly try to dump it. And I awkwardly land right on top of Kane, and I probably just am dead for this, and I am dead because that is just really, really, really bad. But here's the reason why. So obviously, you can kind of see that Ambassador is within a lot of people. I kind of looked to make sure he's going to bar, which you can kind of clearly tell. And so then I'm just going to go do blue books, and maybe I'll get away with it. But Ethan, not paying too much attention to the bar, is still watching for like a cheese on the microfilm. And I'm assuming that he saw someone with the book walk really quickly. And what I'm also assuming is he saw that like really, really quick sort of reading animation where you see the spy start to read after like the direct second after he gets there. And so that's what Ethan saw, and then Ethan was like, okay, well clearly that is the spy. And yeah, at that point you just know it's a spy 100% certainty. So yeah, you shoot the spy. Very quick one. Basically a gambit. If I get away with it, I only have one more hardtail to go, and I'll probably just delegate for the win most likely after I flirt and in contact. But yeah, it doesn't end up working out because Ethan very, very disciplined sniper, is still watching the early game microfilm. So, all right, here we go. So we have Ethan on Rocker here, starting in 3, 2, 1, playing it. We start near the window paths. We don't decide to go for an early cheese time ad. Watching Bug, watching Smallman Bug, White Dress if they bug. Maybe soft crediting Smallman and White Dress there with the bug, but I don't think I saw anything, so now I'm just taking highlights. Kane's the only one who went to a statue, and then you have Wheels and Queen both going to the bar. So yet again, similar start as the Plane Twin game. We notice the Irish slides on the window pad, but I don't think I saw it, so I didn't lowlight it. And so yeah, my laser right now is just kind of guarding that right side because Amba's over there, and I'm guarding White Dress right now while also trying to keep watch of bar, but it's still just Queen and Wheels, so I noticed that, okay, a yellow triangle is being offered to. I could watch the right side a little bit more. I noticed that, like, looks like Plane Twin. Yeah, it has to be Plane Twin. Took the briefcase, so first print of the game. Salmon, I think he was already a highlight, so I think he might be finishing Inspecs here, but if you finish Inspecs this early on Modern, it gives me the chance to just sit there and watch stuff. Rocker with a difficult print, I noticed this and I kept it in my mind. So in my mind now, Plane Twin and Rocker both have a fingerprint. Rocker less likely to have one, maybe forgettable more, but Ethan's green rate is just spectacular, obviously. So hopefully you've been noticing throughout the match. So I have to credit these difficulties to him. And Kane goes back to the left set of statues. Obviously, I know he was there before, so I'm not crediting him with Inspecs quite yet. I think Sam is still the only one with Inspecs, and throughout the game, I'm still just trying to watch bar. We had a white alert for another 34%, sorry. We're at 85% now, and we now only need one flirt from anywhere. 2.5 minutes left. We have a print in pocket. Timing is just very, very good right now. Ethan's pace is excellent. So far, so good. This is a really good spy game. Let's see if we can, convert it into a win, though, if we're Ethan. And then meanwhile, I'm just still tracking everything. You notice I'm not taking lowlights on anything because I don't want to take lowlights against Mr. Pathing himself, because that would be foolish. It's normally a good idea not to lowlight like any path willy-nilly if you're against another a pathing knowledge pro. And we finish off Flirt and then instantly leave conversation. You love to see it. Very, very good. We go to the red bookcase here, and I highlight Rocker because obviously the ambassador was just there, so I highlight her for Prince. So she is now finishing up Prince, so Rocker's count for me is now Seduce at most, and then Prince. But we still got to watch everyone else. We can't just tunnel on Rocker because she's the first person that's finishing Prince. And so, yeah, I'm still keeping track of Bar here. And we go into the yellow triangle conversation. Probably going to be a contact soon, but we probably don't want to do it instantly. And Ethan's probably thinking like this is his best shot to pull away with a sniper win, or a spy win. Okay, so now we're just waiting to see what's going to happen. We have 1 minute left. There's a lot of highlights in the party. I think still only Salmon maybe has real inspecs. I haven't been watching right now, but I think that's probably the case. BB happens. Rocker leaves. I notice it, which is why I wait till take my lowlights. I start taking lowlights now. I look to see where Rocker goes, and she goes to bar. So now is the moment of truth because I'm assuming now that Rocker is just going to immediately purloin or do some delegate. But I'm assuming if Rocker splits from BB to go to the bar, it's going to be an immediate purloin. And I'm already saying to myself, if Rocker takes this list, I have no choice. I'm going to shoot Rocker because she has fingerprints and there's 4 missions. And maybe, maybe Taft could have delegated to her. I'll check after the game, but... And what happens? The list disappears. I have to take a shot. I take the shot on Rocker because she has fingerprints, and Ethan loves his bookcase fingerprints, so maybe a little bit of behavioral slash past opponent knowledge came in there. But I ended up finding the shot on Rocker, and it was a really, really strong spy game. I mean, this was not a trivial game at all. Uh, Fingerprints are obviously really hard to catch. I literally had to credit a difficult print, a bookcase print, and then a direct purloin, which obviously is honestly really, really good against us like experienced snipers because typically like you think to yourself, oh, what idiot is going to delegate or what idiot is going to take an immediate purloin here? Like that's just stupid. And like you say that like if you're a beginner player, you're like, oh, I'm just going to grab the purloin straight up. It works really well. But then you're like, oh no, I'm going to delegate always. And then like at the end, you're like, okay, well maybe like taking straight up sometimes is really, really good because it keeps the sniper on their toes. And in this case, it did because I already had to resolve myself to just shoot him here for it. So we obviously managed to tie it back to 12-12. So now we are yet again 12-12, tied up again. So let's see, where was Taft here?
Banana bread.
And interestingly enough, actually, Ethan frames Taft here, which I don't think I picked up on, actually. But even if I think even if honestly, I credited like Taft delegating to Rocker, I don't think it really matters because I'm shooting Rocker here no matter what because I'm on top of fingerprints. But I will say that if I didn't have Rocker being on top of fingerprints here, I would not have been able to take the shot. So thankfully though, I was on top of my prints. You know, sometimes you have to be really disciplined sniper and really solid and keep track of prints. This time I was, so I get away with it. Or I get away with a nice sniper win. Probably one of my strongest sniper wins so far of the set. This was not at all trivial. I obviously knew that if Rocker took this list, I was shooting her. And if if it did happen to be Taft, it would actually be a callback to when I lost one of my SMC games to Rov in the finals, where I shot Irish because she had Prince, but instead of Irish, taking the list and being correct, or instead of shooting Irish as instead of Irish being the spy because Irish had Prince and took the list, it was actually Rov who was red dress who delegated to Irish who I didn't even notice who actually took the list instead. So, and I remember Wrestler when commentating mentioned, like normally it's the correct play to shoot the person who's done with missions. However, in this case, it just wasn't because the spy outplayed you. But this case, Ethan, you can kind of see that the mission win was forming after you have the fingerprints. So you have, and obviously it was a split too from conversation. So it in a way, it looks like very obviously that like Taft is banana breading and sending someone to finish like the game off for him. However, Rocker has mission progress, and so I know Ethan is capable of doing such a big brain play because he was trying to outthink my outthinking, right? He's going to say it's going to look like Taft delegated here, and Asta might be a little bit suspicious of Taft. So I'm going to look like I delegated to Taft, all the while I'm secretly competing missions because I'm banking on the fact that he doesn't have the fingerprints. However, I had the fingerprints. So with all knowledge, I'm able to, before Rocker even touches the purloin, I'm able to, come to a decision and shoot Rocker. If it goes off, it goes off, and I shoot Rocker and save the game. And this is like, just, I mean, we're deep in overtime here. Stress is like at an all-time high, but I feel like after like the second spy game of like overtime, I don't think I was at all like stressed. Like I was just kind of just chilling, and I was like, whatever happens, happens, and I'm just gonna try and play my best possible spy party. And I guess I was lucked in here. But yeah, very good catch, I have to say. Honestly, from me, I honestly, if it was like any other day, I could see myself easily missing this game and not having Prince, and Ethan just takes the list, and I'm like, I have no idea who the spy is, but I don't want to shoot Rocker because I don't know if she has any other missions here. Because if I don't have a fourth mission for Rocker here, I'm not shooting her. So I had Prince though, so luckily I had a fourth mission. But yeah, very, very nice spy game from Ethan there, I have to say. Luckily, I was able to counter it, but man, oh man, that could have been very lethal very quickly. So we're back on general. So in 3, 2, 1, starting it. Starting off at the back window pad, I'm going to instantly time ad because I see that the ambassador is all the way on the other side of the venue. Kind of close to me, but I'm not really freaking out about it. So I go next to a white dress. And it is a green flirt for 51%. And as per usual, we're just going to big chill. Queen with a really, really nice redirect there. I think maybe... Oh, okay, I see. So Ethan's highlights there are probably time ad highlights. Onto Plain Twin and Queen. Little does he know, though, I already did it before that, which is why he's not taking any like aggressive lowlights or anything, because obviously anybody could have done it before that time if he thought to himself he wasn't watching it. So, okay, so now we take a delegate. Obviously, the ambassador takes a drink after us, which means there's going to be a prince at the bar, but I'm unfortunately now in no way to kind of capitalize on that. I go next to my fated lover, Queen, who unfortunately is not my ST this game. And probably just going to purloin here and just see what happens. Yet again, asking Ethan a question. And we already have a little bit of chaos in the game because I already time added. And so now I hurry up and delegate, and then I go over to a white dress because now I want to start flirting. Ethan adjusts his laser so that he can see if I will bug, which is very smart by him because I was thinking about it here. White dress leaves, not a big deal. I could follow her. And I gulp my drink, or I take the last sip of my drink, because when this purling goes off, I don't want to be seen with a drink. But unfortunately, the delegate expires, And I actually think this would have been a really, really strong delegate as well. And it just barely expired. So now after I saw that, I said, screw it. I'm going to go back to the bar and I will make sure a delegate freaking goes off because I'm so tired of it not going off. Because it didn't go off when I was white dress either. So yeah, another delegate. We have 3 minutes left. I still have a 51% flirt. My pacing is still fine, assuming I can hit another green test. Otherwise, it could get a little shaky from here. Ethan only has one small min low light, and it's on small min. But we're still fine. I mean, nothing's happening really too badly here. Yeah, sip the drink, delegated to Seek here. Ethan is not even at all watching that. He's zooming around on statues, highlighting people. So yeah, when Seek takes this list, you can see from his perspective, it's probably not going to be seen. And then the question becomes, like, let's say all this happens and I'm not the suspect for the purloin. Then the question is, what is the fourth mission? So while this is going off, what I really should be doing, okay, so I finished the flirt. So what I should do right here is I should either like swap or take a book because now Purloin's gone. Seek took the list. And it looks like Ethan is just completely not on top of this. He's trying to take lowlights, and as he's taking lowlights right here, I could have had a swap pending, and it would have been really, really strong, but I, for whatever reason, didn't because I wanted to play nice and safe. And I think this late in the set, I think I was like, maybe not sharp as I usually am on the spy side. I think I played way too safe in some of these games, but
Banana bread.
we BB here. Seek notably is in conversation, but does not have a real contact. And now, if you notice, I only need one more mission to win the game. And so you have a lot of options here, right? You could inspect to inspect, you have swap, you could, get a book and just wait like a minute. You could try and wait for a bug. Fingerprints aren't really an option, so, but let's see. So we go into statues here, and so now the question becomes, is it going to be inspect to inspect or a swap? I don't swap here, so, and I also don't get a highlight here, I don't think, meaning that, and I think I like slightly broke animation there, which I don't know if Ethan caught that or not. If he caught that, it was a very, very like short timed animation break, but if he saw it, I would be instantly dead. And we actually just get shot going statue to statue. So Ethan just honestly, this is just an amazing shot. It's a shot that just I mean, it's such a smart shot. And let me explain why. So, assuming that like he didn't see the animation break, and assuming that like he really wasn't on top of the purloin, you're now in a position where like you need to be watching for fourth missions from people, and you have to assume that you don't already have a fourth that the spy doesn't already have a fourth mission. Like for example, the game's already over if I already have a bug. So like for example, I mean, if we take a hasty shot onto somebody and I already had a fourth mission, it doesn't matter because we would have lost anyway. Um, so we decided to take a shot onto somebody who decides to go statue to statue, and that is the fourth mission. And notably, the immediate taker, which was Seek, does not actually have a BB. And the party's down to just 8 people here. And if Seek doesn't have a real BB, then it's really down to 7 people. So when you're thinking about shooting general here, you're really thinking about, should I shoot this person for finishing a fourth mission with the knowledge that like my person who took the purloin also doesn't have a mission completion. So, oops, let me go back. You could also see that like I didn't slide onto the pad, which also, so the lack of slide could also give you some evidence to say that it's not general, which Ethan could have also used. So it's hard to tell. Ethan took a really nice shot here. I don't think it's paranoia because if you're not on top of the purloin and you assume that like you have two assumptions, right? And that's that, like I said, they either have a fourth mission or they don't. Let's say, for instance, I had bug already. Then this shot's correct because if I already have a bug, then you already lost the game. But if I don't have a bug, then the shot is also correct because you're shooting for the first person who could be mission completing. You don't know if General has bug out of the 8 people that you have up, and so I don't blame the shot at all here. And yet again, like there's like also like 1, 2, 3, 4 people who don't even have real BBs, and you know it makes a lot of sense that. Oh no no wait. So now hold on. So when I contact here, let's see how many people. Oh wait, sorry.
Banana.
So yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah. So obviously only 8 people have real BBs here, and Ethan smartly, correctly takes those lowlights, and half the people in Ethan's list now do not have a banana bread, and I think most of them are actually highlights. Like I don't think a single highlight was in for real BB. So now that makes it more likely that the spy is actually the person who is not a highlight. And I don't know if Ethan's thinking about any of this, but I'm just saying, like, from after finishing the game, you could say all of this. So, yeah, that is the game, and I'm trying to think. But no, I like my option of going inspect to inspect here because, like I said, I like to ask the sniper like a question, like what are you going to do? Are you going to shoot me for this inspect to inspect, knowing that like you don't have the purloin, or are you just gonna let this go by and risk it being a spy win? But obviously Ethan takes a shot, and I have to say it's a very nice shot. I honestly like Ethan is just taking so many like insanely good shots on Modern, and obviously he took some like really really nice shots in this set as well. So like just I mean like honestly massive kudos and huge respect. So but now it is 12 to 13, so we are going into our 26th game here on in this set. It's been like almost 2.5 hours at this point. Um, and you're thinking, when does it end? Who knows? I know, but I won't say. I won't spoil just in case you're watching this far. So, but yeah, okay. So Ethan now is on Irish again in 3, 2, 1, playing it. And let's see what the plan is here. I'm gonna assume, obviously, it's gonna be a nice slow game again. Very weird pathing here, but still trying to follow General. Looks like we take a wonky looking path, but we end up getting next to General, so it's not a big deal. Yet again, like 3 people who are at inspects right now. 4 people. No, just 3 people. So yeah, 3 highlights in the party at the moment. I'm waiting to see who's going to take out of Tap and Queen. I see Queen takes the statue, so I'm going to highlight her in a second probably. Ethan is just flirting at the moment, formulating a plan at the moment. Ambassador isn't really like in danger. The bar doesn't look that busy. Maybe one person each bookcase. Very, very balanced party at the moment. I mean, like there's a little bit of activity on every single mission. So let's see what Ethan has in store for us. So yet again, every single time that I lose a spy game, Ethan is going to be in control to, snipe or spy for the win. So, and I have to snipe just to keep my tournament life alive. Okay, we flirt again. Probably going to leave here. Oh my gosh, and we actually red test, but I'm sure it's okay because I'm sure Ethan is just going to go walk over that conversation or not. We're going to go into the venue, into the building. I don't know what you want to call it. We got a green bookcase here. Pick up a green book. And I'm assuming the plan here is probably just to go and dump it into either red or blue. Either way, this path is not... it's okay. I mean, I'm sure it looks fine on the sniper side. Ethan trying to emulate some nice pathing like the AI would do because he knows I'm watching for it. Instant talk for 68% total, so now we are one white flirt next to our ST away from finishing. And as you can still tell, Ethan is just kind of big chilling here. General goes to statues now. Ethan now goes to the briefcase, picks up a print, but smartly actually reads a book. This looks really spy-like or AI-like because normally spies are just ready to just pick up a book, but instead we try to pick it up ourselves. But I feel like at the end there that was a little hasty. I don't think I really picked up on that, but yet again, like kind of a late-looking briefcase, but I don't think I really registered that this time. So Irish is still probably in the clear for me at the moment. And I'm assuming we go back to red bookcase here with the green book. So we are going to finish microfilm after we take this back. I see this and I don't know where she got the book from. I'm a little suspicious of the microfilm here, so I decide to highlight it because I don't know if for certain if she got it from a different bookcase. And obviously, that intuition is correct because she gets a highlight. But either way, we still have a minute left. We have one more flirt, and we still have one more print to get. So honestly, our position still is okay. I would go into the closest conversation, which is right there, and then wait for the briefcase probably, which is okay. That's what we decided to do. So now we got to hope that Ambassador just takes a really, really early print. or really, really quick drink, and hopefully walks away. So where are we gonna go now? So now Ethan decides I don't want to go to the bar because that's really suspicious. So I'm gonna go next to General. But oh wait, General actually decides to, walk away from us. And already I'm sus for her for the microfilm. So if she goes to General again, I'm going to be really suspicious of it. This path is definitely incorrect, by the way. That's not a correct path. So now I'm suspicious of her even more. And now, yet again, this is a flirt with General. And at this point, I'm like, you have to be the spy. There's just no way. So yeah, yet again, I was like 99% certain at this point. So let's watch the path again, and then I'll show you how it should be done. Oh no, we could literally just watch General do the path. So watch General compared to Irish. So yep, right there and there. So I'll rewind. So let's watch General, and then you could literally just directly compare it to Irish here. So General is gonna walk along the little fireplace there, diagonal, straight, and then just walks along the chair. Let's watch. So kind of like wonky diagonal, weird around the conversation that she doesn't need to do. Another like micro wiggle, and just a little bit more wiggles right next to General, and that's kind of what I saw and noticed. And I said, I'm just shooting that because she's already suspicious for the microfilm, which I was like I was pretty suspicious of because I was like, I don't think you got it from Red, but I'll just, I'll just keep waiting to make sure that I'm on top of it. And I'll just keep waiting to see what else you're gonna do. And then, so 13, 13. And then, yeah, we try to chase General at the statues. We miss. The General walks away. So then, obviously, we don't pick up the statue because Sorry then picks up the statue, and so then we're forced to walk outside to follow General. The path doesn't make sense. We go right next to General again. Very obvious flirt chasing, and it's just a shot because I also have the briefcase as well. So, yeah, I just decided to shoot there because I'm like, there's no way it's not her at this point in time. Okay, so I'm now playing Twin here, starting in 3, 2, 1, playing it. And yet again, I start out near this back window pad, and I just decided to time out because yet again, time ad or ambassadors on the other side of the venue. I could easily just time ad, walk away to this conversation, and make it look like I wasn't even there. And as you notice, like Ethan's been missing quite a few time ads this set, so all these like really quick time ads are basically just free 45 seconds that I get to spend on Modern, and it looks like he's not even like aware of it. So I'm going to go to statues right here to be next to the briefcase because I want to have a nice early briefcase to take from the ambassador. There's no one to even contest it from me, maybe Smallman. So I'm going to go now. I pick up the briefcase, and there we go, our first print of the game. First print of the game, and yeah, Ethan as the sniper right now, he is just sort of doing the same thing that I do, but just kind of keeping track on the party pretty early on, and then he's also watching some paths, I'm assuming. Probably noticed the time ad by now, but wasn't really quite sure who's did it, so I'm sure his mind's in like a little bit of disarray, but we're still just gonna wait to see what happens. So yeah, nothing going on right now. I'm just kind of waiting for another flirt with Teal. There's no reason to do anything crazy because I have all this time now to work with. Ethan has I now have all the time in the world for Ethan to sit here and gather up suspects. Text slides on the bar pad, so Ethan lowlights it. Duke slides on the front, so he lowlights it. And like I said, Ethan is just sitting here sniping in his comfort zone. There's not a lot of activity going on. He's free to watch paths. He's probably going to watch Sari's path here, which is absolutely beautiful. I probably wouldn't lowlight it, but I would definitely think about it. And yeah, so now I still have 3 minutes left because of that 45 seconds extra I have. So we are just kind of chilling right now. I mean, I don't want to do anything crazy. I also think that, he still has the briefcase. So I'm waiting for him to just drop the briefcase. However, he's still not dropping it, and he's still not leaving the conversation. So yeah, so I'm still just kind of waiting at this point in time. Ethan's probably just watching people at the bar. He only has 3 highlights at the moment, and 2 of them are at bar. One of them is at windows. Salmon with a nice looking path. Okay, and the other twin decides to go right next to us in a very linear path. And because I'm already now feeling a little bit behind because Ambassador wasn't, doing anything, I decided to go next for ST. Ethan highlights Irish, probably suspecting a direct transfer, kind of like I did. But he's going to watch. That's a really nice little micro wiggle. And yeah, Irish's path looks really, really good. So if I was Ethan, I wouldn't be that suspicious of it. And yeah, Disney also has a really nice path into front combos, and he fake lowlights Disney for it. Um, he fake lowlights because he wants you to think that you're lowlit, so that way you'll go do something aggressive, but you don't actually do anything aggressive. So I do the same thing as well. So, but the beauty of it is that it works either way. Yeah, also looks like he highlights me for that, but obviously, I'm not gonna. I don't really care. I'm still gonna go about my missions as usual here. So yeah, we get a fingerprint done, inspect out of the way. Although I don't think I had much intention of actually going for the fingerprint here, or for another inspect here. So I go to another bookcase because now I think I want to try and show, because if that was a real highlight, I kind of want to show that I'm not suspicious, and I still have time to spare because I could always just go to a statue right now and then contact flirts over there on the right, as you notice. So also I could also bug, so there's also that. Red dress could be credited for a bug here. I should bug here, but I actually don't. But Ambassador moves just in the nick of time here, so that if I were to bug, I probably would have not been, I probably would have been too late. So I go next to Teal here, finish up the flirt with a green test, and it was a much needed green test as well. 45 seconds left. I still need another inspect. And, time is just running out right now. It's getting very, very stressful because now I really, really need another mission because I still don't even have contact. And my plan is that, oh, I'll just go contact with Smallman. He's in the conversation. No worries. I can contact and then delegate. So delegate the Purloin. And then at this point, I am just going to go make a beeline right for this conversation here. And I'm going to delegate and then contact. Except the DA leaves.
Banana bread.
And so now we get a banana bread. And now, if you want to take a shot, he could take a shot on like either Teal, James Bond, or the Twin, but they're all highlight. I have no choice but the time ad here, and then it looks like I am the only time ad in the party. So either right now, the only thing that can happen is that there's a swap pending, there's a time ad, or there is a Purloin pending. However, I get highlight because obviously I'm one of the only people at the window pads. I delegate to
Banana
White
bread.
Dress. I delegate or I contact, which is a real, and now it is up to Ethan whether or not he is absolutely certain that it was me who, in fact, time added and decided to hang the clock. But at this point in time, there's been no purling that's gone off. There's been no swap that's gone off. So you probably think it's a time ad. He hears the beeping. I'm one of the only two highlights. He knows Irish wasn't even at the window pad. He's thinking about it to make sure that he has time. You have like 10 seconds there to really deliberate it. And then Ethan ends up finding the shot in a game that I thought, with those 4 seconds before he shot me, I thought maybe he does not know, and I got the first spy win of overtime. However, he then finds the shot. So we're now going into 13-14, into almost 30 games of Modern. We're really fastly approaching 30 games. And now I yet again have to snipe for my win, or my tournament life on Modern. Probably for like the fifth or sixth time. I don't even remember at this point. But we are queen now, in 3, 2, 1, playing it. Okay, we start off at statues here, and start off at statues here, and you know, there's a couple other people who have statues. We have Wheels and Teal. So, but actually, yeah. So I highlight Queen because I wasn't sure if she got an inspect or not there. It was really quickly, so I highlight just in case it was really quick inspect and I missed it. Seek picks up the statue, so I highlight Seek here in a second. Just watching bug. That red just doesn't bug. I'm watching bar still. I highlight it, and then I think I saw it. Did I see it? I'm pretty sure I saw it. And I was trying to parse who was there. So let me see. Okay, so Seek's path looks really, really good. I checked the statue, I think, or not. I don't know. Okay, yeah, yeah. Okay, so that was a fake highlight. So yeah, so at this point in time, I now have it down to 4 people. It's either Teal, Wheel, Seek, or Queen. And unfortunately, I don't think I remembered who was at that very statue because I think I highlight Queen. And I wasn't really sus of Queen when she did that. I was like, oh, it's just a normal highlight. And I actually thought Seek was the spy here because I thought that was a really, really fast swap right after, Queen just left it. So I was like, okay. I mean, that's a little odd. But I don't think I was completely on top of things, which is why I had, these people just I kept them highlight, and I didn't lowlight anybody because I wasn't 100% sure either way. So on the off chance that I was missing some crazy sort of cheese, I wanted to keep my highlights just down to 4, but keep everyone up just in case. That path is a little wonky. I don't know if I noticed it or not. Maybe I did. But we still only have Wheels, Teal, and Seek to watch besides Queen. And we actually delegate to Alice. And now Queen was my main suspect this entire
Banana
time, I
bread.
want to point out. And okay, before we even do anything, Wheels
Banana
and
bread.
Alice, or sorry, wait, hold on, sorry. Wheels and Teal, or Wheels is the only one out of conversation, so
Banana bread.
um, yeah, I shoot Queen here because, first of all, she's my main suspect for the swap. I was like 99% positive it was her in the end, but I wanted to make sure. And yeah, Wheels was out of conversation, so now it's down to 3 people. Seek passed to the front after the statues looked pretty good, so I also used that as some evidence. And then yeah, I obviously knew that Queen went to bar, and Alice went to the bar right next to her, so I thought I saw the send. I was just gonna wait for the Perlin to go off, but after the BB, I was like, I don't think there's even a need. I'm just gonna shoot Queen here, just in case she has some other miracle fourth mission to make it seem like she's not really like actually finishing with Purloin. So I shot because I was like above like 99% suspicion here on Queen, and I tie it back up 14 to 14. So at this point in time, you have to be thinking to yourself, okay, we're at 6 games each. We're almost at the exact length of regulation, except now it's literally like, it's 14 to 14. We've almost played as much modern as like the first set. So it's just like at this point, you have to think like like how is your mental state at this point? And it's just like, oh, it's just super stressful because like I have no clue, who I just have no clue who could have, done what, or I have no clue, like, who's gonna win because we're both playing really, really well. I mean, Ethan could have gotten away with that game really, really quickly. I mean, Flirt was finished very, very quickly, I have to say. So Ethan could have gotten away with that game if I was like not super sure of the swap even more than I already was. Um, so yeah. Because I thought Queen was at that statue, but I still didn't know for certain if it was Wheels. But after I saw some paths and some behavior, I mean Queen kind of screamed the spy to me. So yeah, I had to take the shot there. After I saw the BB, Wheels was out, who was next to Queen, and so then it kind of was like, okay, well then it's either Queen or Seek. Seek's path I liked. Also the talk that sent Alice to bar, it looked like a delegate. So yeah, I shot Queen to tie it up and to remain alive. So 14 to 14 here, and I am on Rocker, hoping to finally break through Ethan's just impenetrable sniper here. In 3, 2, 1, playing it. Let's see, where do I start out at? I probably start out at red next to my ST, but let's see. And indeed I do. And I hit a nice green test, so there we go. But let's see, are we going to do anything with the book? Yes, we do. We ignored the briefcase because if we take that briefcase, it's going to look very suspicious. I don't think you're really supposed to take the briefcase after you take a book out. Keel told me that like he hasn't really seen anybody really do that, so I've actually kind of adopted that into my play. So whenever I see that, I kind of go, oh, okay, that's probably not the spy. Okay, and then now I have the option of either returning it into another bookcase or just keeping it and keep cooking it. Either way is fine. I had the option of like, cooking it or, returning it, but I decided against returning it. And so now at this point in time, I'm thinking to myself, okay, I'll probably just end up gonna go and, turn this book in and, we'll see what Ethan does. So, you know, that's the moment of truth. But for right now, I mean, you watch Ethan, he has no lowlights yet. It's honestly a miracle that on Modern, 1 minute in, Ethan has no lowlights, even though you could just lowlight white dress right there. It's interesting to me that like Ethan is so like conservative with his lowlights because I haven't AI controlled a single time. So you think like, okay, I'm good to take lowlights probably, but maybe the one time I AI control and he lowlights people, he lowlights me. So we'll see. But yeah, white dress could easily be lowlight here. And now I decide to go to blue bookcase to return the book. Ethan's laser is completely still here, and it was kind of a bad time to return the book because Ambassador was safe. So, there's probably no chance of him thinking that like I took the book out of blue or that like I just got there and took a book out. Because now if he had any suspicion on me, I am now going from inspects to I'm going from inspects to or bookcase from. Oh wait, was that a shake? Okay, I don't know if that was like a nod of the camera. That might have just been like, he was adjusting his mouths or something. Okay, and as you can see here, the statue that Wheels is picking up, the ambassador actually went to, uh, and unfortunately, that was my other plan. I was gonna inspect that statue for the fingerprint and swap, and then or the inspect in the fingerprint, because now I have the option to go for a sort of silent game. I don't have to banana bread because there's a difficult print where the statue was, where Wheels was inspecting. So if I hit a green fort here, I could go into statues, and now it's done. So if I go into that statue, I can actually finish the game off here by inspecting and hitting a green difficult print. And now it's up to Ethan to actually shoot for that, and it'd be a really, really nice shot if he could find it. So let's see what happens here. Will he find the shot? No slide, and Ethan actually finds the shot because I don't slide on that. Ethan just takes the shot. I don't know if it was for the microfilm. I don't know if it was for the, fingerprint finish. I don't know if it was for inspecs. I don't know. There was no slide there. You could argue that, he shot for like a million different reasons. However, the logic still stands that it was just an incredibly nice shot. That could have been the game right there had I hit the difficult print and Ethan didn't shoot me there. So just amazing print. I also wanted to point out too, at one point, I went over here to statues. Um, I meant to go for there's a printable statue. I went to the wrong one, so I went one statue over, and this one has a print on it. So I was like, okay, we're good. But yeah, at this point in time, I need one more inspect, one more print. There's a print where Wheels was, because if I go back here, you'll see the Ambas there. Then Wheels smudges it, so then it's a difficult print. That bird statue over there on the left. And then that is the statue I decided to go to after, And I think, funnily enough, I probably had a lot of suspicion for the microfilm because Ethan was literally just watching my entry into that statue pad there, and assuming that I think I mean you gotta I mean I gotta think that like I gotta think that that was just because he he knew that I microfilmed or was like really suspicious of it. I have to think that's what that was, but it's hard to say for certain. I'm not sure if that was for certain why he shot, but it could have been. It definitely could have been. So, but yeah, there's a million things you could shoot for. I mean, you could shoot for the microfilm suspicion there with the combination of no slide on the pad. You could shoot for the inspects there if you're already suspicious of the transfer. You could be like, oh, well, you have transfer credit, but also inspects and fingerprints because I was watching fingerprints. There's a million different things you can shoot for there. Just either way, I mean, honestly, this was an insane shot. Ethan just keeps finding insane shot after insane shot, clearly showcasing like why his sniper is just incredibly, terrifying to play against. I mean, like these are not easy shots. I mean, like granted, it is like a minute 30 left in the game, but like there's still no banana bread. So you have to be like supremely confident in your shot at this point. And he is, which is just fantastic. So we finally get the emergency small man button, but I don't think it really counts because Ethan randoms his spies. So the game just decides to give him small man and says, fly free. So yet again, spying for the win on the most notorious spy for shenanigans. And 3, 2, 1, small man. And so we hit a nice early green flirt. And let's pay attention to my sniper here. I'm obviously taking highlights. Ambassador's pretty safe. I'm watching, I'm still watching. I was watching Wheels and Smallman. I noticed Smallman takes out a book, goes directly to green bookcase here. And at this point, the spy is dead. I just fake some lowlights to make it seem like he's not dead so that he doesn't do some weird dance to try and avoid my laser here. I wait until I have a nice clean shot, and I take the shot onto Smallman. So the reason why I didn't shoot him instantly is because I didn't want to miss the shot. How tragic would it have been if I decided to take the shot and I missed because I decided to take the shot instantly after he microfilms. So I waited till I had a nice clear shot on him, and I took the shot on him. So we're good. But yeah, anyway, yeah, if this was just me being like, this was just me paying attention to everything in the party at once. I was making sure highlighting my statues, seeing where Ambassador landed and the briefcase. I saw bar, had bar people in my head, and then I wanted to watch, microfilm for a little bit just to make sure there's no early cheeses, and there wasn't early cheese, but it was caught by me. which you can kind of see right here. You can kind of see my laser here free, and then after I see Smallman leave the bookcase, you can kind of see my laser freeze, see how I'm moving. And then now I'm watching bookcase, my laser freezes, so I zoom over to see, and then it's cut off here, but oh here, well never mind, hold on. Now I can show you. So yeah, you can kind of see here that like it's kind of freezing. My laser froze. You can kind of see me like tilting a little bit around, seeing what Smallman does. Now I just take some low lights and I'm not even paying attention to anything because I know who the spy is. And then I'll repeat this yet again. I decide to just take the shot when I know that it's pretty safe. I was a little worried about Twin, so I angled myself a little bit more to the right there, just so that I didn't accidentally shoot Twin. So, okay. Now we are. This is game number, I believe, 15. So, uh, no matter what now the result we have who if someone happens to win now we'd have this is our eighth game so or this is our 31st game so now if it happens to end next game that would mean that we would have played the entirety of regulation the length of it just in modern overtime alone, which is hilarious. But let's see if I can finally break through yet again against Ethan in 3, 2, 1, playing it as Alice. Starting off at the green bookcase here. Am I going to cheese it? Probably not. It didn't work early on, and so I'm trying to switch things up. So obviously our ST is right there. I just take the nice free easy flirt, probably, and hopefully it's green. And it is, so I'm probably pretty happy. Ethan just getting his general bearing on the party, so looking at who's at bar, watching, inspectors, just getting a general feel for what's happening in the party. We also get Seek going to green books. And, I just decide, I thought, obviously I don't want to go slam the book this early, but there's a briefcase there. So obviously an early print never hurts. If you're going to get past Ethan's sniper, you probably want to do it with Prince. um, I actually break etiquette there because I stopped really, really badly, but let's see how bad it actually was. So Ambassador is over here reading the book this whole time, and I actually stopped way too late. Yeah, this is a horrible briefcase, actually. So I think if Ethan noticed that, I could have just been shot. Luckily, he did not notice. Thank God he did not notice. So I'm still alive for the time being. I have a green book. I could always slam it into blue or red. I could, finish flirt here and then go back to green and then figure out my next game plan. Purloin, bug, whatever have you. But I decided to just return it to green because I thought to myself that briefcase was utterly horrible. I'm just going to return it to green because that is definitely going to be at least lower some suspicion on myself. So, yeah. But we end up deciding to go into conversation here. And next to our ST, we'd BB because there's a lot of people in conversation. This banana bread is honestly just beautiful. Our ST walks away, but in turn we get like a BB with literally 2 low lights on Modern of all places. So now Ethan still has a lot of people to watch. So the game still has a lot of life here, assuming that he didn't see or credit that like really, really bad etiquette break on the briefcase. Smallman also slides into conversation there. He could low light Smallman. But yeah, right now there's not a lot of party activity, so I'm kind of waiting for my best time to do something. Red Dress has been in that conversation, and I actually go for a bug here because Ambassador walks by, and I'm not dead. I'm not dead for it, so which that's good. And you have to think at this point in the game, if that bug was not seen, I am actually in a really, really great spot because I know I have a really, really good BB in my pocket. I only have one more flirt to go, and I have one more fingerprint to go. And now I technically have 2 flirts to go at minimum, but I mean, come on. I mean, surely I would never miss a green test, right? Surely not. But yeah, so still a minute to go. Ethan could easily still find a shot on me. There's no highlights, so if I mess up a pad or something, or if my second fingerprint he's on top of Prince, I could just get shot for that. But obviously the main idea here is to go and flirt with Red Dress, as to not lose just because I wasn't flirting on time. So let's see, what will the action test be? Will it be a green test or will it be a white test? That will probably decide, how fast I decide to do this fingerprint. And it's actually a green test, so now that's 3 missions done. There's no highlight on us, and this bug actually looks pretty clean at the current moment. And that's exactly what I was thinking. I was thinking, if I'm not dead for this bug, maybe the laser was on me for a little bit and I could be highlight. but it's too early to tell. So instead of going right for the briefcase here, I decided to wait because I see that Ambassador is going to a blue bookcase, and if he puts the book away, and I get lucky enough that he puts the book away, I won't have to do anything rash, but otherwise I could still just like direct Purloin. I could slam book still. I mean, there's still like, safety options here. I was gonna go for that briefcase for a difficult print. I decided to take some weird like redirect or whatever, just to make it look like a little bit more AI like, and I also bounced around awkwardly. But now we take the blueprint, and this is it. This is mission win counting right here. 10 seconds to find this shot. I'm not even highlight. However, Ethan highlights general, and so maybe is crediting a direct or a difficult print there, but I actually finally get my first spy win of overtime, the very first one after 14 games of back and forth strong play on both sides, finally off of the back of a reverse drive-by bug that honestly was being looked at a little bit but had a little bit of maybe cover. So this is finally a breakthrough game from me, but let's see now. Let's watch the bug first, so I'll show you it from my perspective, I'll show you it from his. So yeah, I noticed the ambassador's a blue bookcase. I'm just gonna take the bug. I normally a lot of spies like to take a bug, a reverse drive-by, and then they decide to start talking afterwards to hide the snapback. But I actually think that's more suspicious, and I highlight many spies for doing that without actually even seeing it, the bug anyway, because I'm like, oh, this person just their idle reset, and then I saw a talk, so it looks a little bit suspicious. But if you just see the idle reset and you don't see the arm snapback, it sometimes can just be like an innocent, like, oh, okay, maybe they just were setting the thing. So let's watch from Ethan's perspective here. Queen, I think I'm pretty sure is like the saving grace here. She walks in front of us. Just I can already tell. So let's see. My left hand goes out. He's watching it, and Queen's hat maybe covers up the snapback just a little bit. So uh, we could have just gotten really really lucky, and Queen actually might have just completely saved us there. But let's see. I'm gonna watch it again. He's probably watching Twin more so for the bug than me probably. But yeah, actually, it looks like my idle animation just resetting there. And if Queen's hat covered even like a fraction of that snapback, it actually looks really, really clean. So, yeah, that bug was just completely clean, and I don't think Ethan even credited it because if he did, he would have definitely like at least been a little aware that we tried to finish that like fingerprint really late in the set. Okay, so yeah, and then after this, yeah, we just kind of idle out. We hit our nice green flirt for 51% to finish up Seduce. 3 missions done. We go to Blue Book Kiss. We have no other choice at this point in time. And then we end up hitting or getting a free print because we don't have to hit a difficult because we were the first ones there after the ambassador. And it's before 10 seconds, so no mission win countdown past 0. So no, beep, 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 beeps. And then, boom, with 5 seconds left in the game, we finally sneak one by Ethan's sniper, and it took freaking 2 fingerprints that were like probably 3 minutes apart. It took a bug, which was probably completely clean and missed maybe, and maybe got a little bit of lucky cover from Queen. A disgusting contact that only had like 2 or 3 people out. I think he missed a low light on Irish at the bar. But I mean, and I had a 2 green flirt too to save pace throughout the end game, so I don't have to like move a lot. So yeah, I mean, honestly, just a strong spy game. I feel like objectively speaking, I don't think I made any mistakes, and everything I did happened to just work out in my favor. And Ethan, just yet again, I think the way you catch this game is the bug, and being on top of it, and at least maybe crediting that like really really sus fingerprint at the end, like he did. Like I'm wondering if he credited General with it, or if it was like a flirt or something. I don't know. But because if he knew that there was a fingerprint there and he saw that I went there, I must have had zero suspicion, and so he was definitely not on top of the bug. And that's what my analysis of that would be. And I think that's what that's what I thought. So okay, so first spy win of the set, but let's see if I can actually capitalize and cash in my chips on that spy win here. So yet again, I'm sniping for the win against White Dress here, who is Ethan. In 3, 2, 1, playing it. The stakes could never be higher. This could end it. We're at 16 to 15. We've literally are at game 32. I mean, please I'm just praying at this point in the game, like, okay, all the early shenanigans on high rise, they were all meant for this moment. If I win, that means that the whole crazy swap shot meant everything, and that would be insane. But I first have to win still. Nothing's guaranteed. So 4 minutes on the clock here. We just passed the 4:15 minute mark. We just passed the point where I'm like, okay, there's no time ad clearly. We go for a flirt next to Taft. I think at the bar maybe. Yeah, at the bar. And yeah, so I'm kind of watching the party here yet again, just watching for, certain missions here. But there's not much to say right now. Ethan is just kind of at bar. He always has the option to delegate. He has a flirt in hand. There's 3 minutes left now, so a whole minute's gone basically. And we take a delegate. Naturally, you just want it. There's no reason not to. And we go into a nice empty conversation. So very spy-like thing to do after you do something is to go into like an empty conversation. That way you can easily leave afterwards. Which is what Ethan does. But I'm probably not even watching that. So yeah, there's not really much people that are suspicious right now. There's not a lot of inspectors I'm lucky about. So in the terms of progress, there's not much progress. Red Dress has a briefcase here, which I think I was on top of. Smallman goes to inspects, but I don't know. There's not much to be suspicious about right now. We actually delegate here to Seek. So if this goes off, we're gonna see if I am on top of it or not. So before I reveal if I was, I will just let it play out. So now it's getting offered to Seek, and the Purloin now is gone. I see that Seek takes it, and spoiler alert, I am not on top of this Purloin. So now there's 2 minutes left to play. I missed the Purloin. I don't know who it is. Seek is the taker. I do know that, so I'm watching his pathing. His pathing looks really, really good. That path right there is honestly a really, really nice path. I think I remember that Taft was actually at the bar, so, obviously I'm watching him pretty heavily there. But other than that, I actually don't know who else this could have really been, and which kind of tells me two things. That one, the person who it was, kind of their delegate lasted a long time, so anybody recently who it was, I know it wasn't. So, I think those are, and those few, like, lowlights I have, I think are either from pathing or from Purloin lowlights. But at this point in the game now, I'm going to start taking aggressive pathing lowlights because I don't know who it was. So I have to dig deep and just start taking pathing lowlights to people who I think it could have been. Seek is really not that suspicious to me at the moment, even though he was the taker of the Purloin. And there's a minute 20 left, and yet again, Ethan is running into some pacing trouble here. So, you've got the Purloin pass, maybe, and we notice that the laser is directly on us, so maybe it's like the only saving grace here. Taft has a really nice looking path. I'm trying to see if he slides or not, but I can't really tell. It doesn't look like he does. So, yeah, I have to still just kind of wait. Salmon goes to another statue, but honestly, I didn't think that he really had anything, so I'm not really like too concerned about Salmon. Maybe I don't know if he had delegate or not. If he did, then I probably could have just lost here. But one major point to notice is that there's no BB yet, so there's no need to really hastily take a shot. There's 30 seconds left. Ethan needs to do something. I mean, I think Ethan has just, resolved himself to just time out here in hopes that someone else gets shot. But with 30 seconds left and you don't have any other missions, so there's the BB, and there's a lot of strong lowlights because Salmon. I was actually watching for other things to happen, but so I think in the process I actually missed if like Taft was a lowlight or not, and Salmon could have been lowlight as well. But yeah, Rocker, I'm watching for a swap potentially. No swap going off. Remember, I'm not on top of Purloin here, so anybody else I could could have done it. So, and now there's a watch check to add time. And at this point in time, I mean, yeah, Purloin's already gone, so that's not something. Rocker could have, hung the clock, or it could have been a time map. But I don't think Rocker had enough mission progress maybe to do that. So at this point, I think I just start taking a bunch of low lights. And if the swap does happen to go off, I was going to pay attention to it. But I think at this point in time, it's down to 3 people for me. It's Seek, Taft, and White Dress. So I just decided to low light Rocker there because I'm like, it doesn't matter. And funnily enough, I actually missed White Dress at the statue over there. So missed one of the 3 people. So technically, if Ethan had been keeping up on his progress here, I could have just shot him. But same thing, Seek and Taft I was watching. White Dress instantly time as, and that's when I know it's the spy. But obviously, there's no time left. I ended up holding my shot. I don't take any paranoia shots, and that makes me the victor. And I end up somehow managing to get the first ever lead in the set 32 games after the first match because I never ever got a lead ever because I started off on the spy side and I always got shot. So this is the first ever lead that I'm taking in the entire set, and it's actually the most important one because it means I win. So I happen to win the set, as you can see on the top right of the screen, 17-15 against the absolutely solid and just dominant sniper of FireLordEthan, and What a set it was. I mean, just crazy narratives, crazy, just plays happening. Really, really good plays happening on both sides. Um, Ethan took some just absolutely incredible shots there on Modern. I mean, there's not much to say. Ethan just took some incredible shots. The rocker shot, the twin shot, um, being aware of like, white dress and boots late on in the game. Just very great shots. I mean, honestly, massive, huge respect to Ethan this entire set. The first like 10 games, I thought this man was going to brutally crush me. Um, until, until I somehow pulled out a beautiful game on Library, if I do say so myself. And yeah, so uh, I know Ethan, just incredible player. So I mean, huge kudos to him. GG's to him. Um, so yeah, let's go back over this last game real quickly. So obviously, what allowed me to hold throughout the entire game, quite easily, honestly, if I may say myself. Um, there's no contact. So when you see a contact
Banana
here,
bread.
you hear banana bread, and actually at this point in time, when it goes off, the last yellow triangle in conversation left. So if you notice, there's no real BBs here.
Banana bread.
And if I was like really, really good at taking lowlights here, I would have lowlit Rocker, Salmon, Taft, and Seek. And so, funnily enough, actually, when the clock hangs, the only person that could have been the spy would be White Dress. But I guess it is important to note that, like, I think Wheels went to statue not too late after, like 3 or 4 seconds or something like that. So he could have hung the swap. Like, he was also a highlight. So I was making sure, but yeah, pretty sure it was a time ad. I saw like White Dress time ad. So um, maybe I think it would also kind of led me to white dress here because then you're asking yourself like, well, why isn't okay? Well, I guess Wheels. Okay, I see. Wheels went after the minute mark, and so did Salmon and Queen. So yeah, as you can see here, the only thing that could have hung the clock was either Rocker or the time matters. But I don't. I was pretty confident. I don't know why, but that Rocker wasn't really the spy. I kind of forget, to be completely honest. But yeah, I don't think I had her as the spy. But yeah, still stupid of me, and I gave up watching the swap here. Obviously my laser is like dead still right now. I ended up taking a bunch of low lights. It's down to 3 people, as you know. I was pretty confident that Rocker was a spy. I think also maybe I was a little bit suspicious of like White Dress. Maybe I didn't highlight it in the game. I wish I did so I could like talk about it. But I'm sure she took like some weird looking path that maybe made me think it wasn't her. I missed this completely, this swap. It was behind conversation, and so like I think I was like watching Seek to make sure he wouldn't microfilm. So okay, yeah, and then that like yet again he messes up this path. So like yet again, you shouldn't be micro wiggling right there, right? Like you should be going right along this wall, diagonal and then straight. But I think like he like wiggles a little bit over here, wiggles a little bit over here, and that's kind of like what leads me to just kind of be really suspicious of him right now. Like watch this. Wiggle, another wiggle. Yeah. Not like that's not how to path past that like right glass at all, I think. So and then we don't slide on the path. I was watching it. We actually do another readjust, and we immediately time add, which says to me that's the spy. It doesn't even matter. We're out of time. But yet again, there's no need to shoot until a mission is done. So it's going to be hard to say whether or not I would have saw this green swap had it gone off. But I mean, I was watching Sig get red, and Taft obviously was never at statue because he's a glowing highlight. I think I would have known if Taft went to a statue, and it would have only left white dress. And obviously, there's no weird shenanigans going off there. So yeah, that was the last game there, and I think this was actually the only timeout of the entire set. Let me go ahead and look. The only timeout of the entire set, I'm pretty sure. Let me double check though. Let's see. Shot, win, civ, shot, win, civ, shot, win, shot, win. Yeah. So this is actually, so it's kind of poetic that the only timeout of the entire set is actually the last game, where the most important and crucial thing is to hold the shot. Um, I managed to somehow hold this. Really, really bad play though by me not being on top of the purloin, but I I still was allowed to like wait until after the BB to like really think about a shot. And so, it could also be said that like, while perfect sniper play is very important, you still need to kind of, have some good spy games in the mix. And if there was an earlier BB, it would have given me more incentive to shoot. So I think the main reason and main mistake and downfall of Ethan in this final game is the fact that there was no BB in the middle of the game because That would have gotten me higher on higher alert to like every other mission. But when there's no BB, no real BBs the entire game, I mean, then I just have no one to even be suspicious of. I mean, because then, worst case, most everybody has 3 of 8 missions. I mean, I was watching missions really, really good, which is why I gave up Purloin. So I knew no bug happened, I knew no swap happened, or there really wasn't a lot of inspectors. So, yeah, Purloin was the only thing that really wasn't guarding that well. I think that game, which was my bad. I think I should have been watching it better. But yeah, so that is that. We are 3 hours in. My longest video, I think. I think it's even longer than my gallery one. But yeah, so as you can see, I'm gonna go back to the homepage here. So turn on the homepage, and that is it. If anyone happened to watch everything, thank you for watching. I'm going to now delete the score just in case someone happens to scroll by the end of the video. But of course, it ends up being 17-15 me. So I end up taking home the win, $150, and another win over what could be called my arch nemesis. I actually finally now make our score in the finals of tournaments 2-2. So yeah, this was Spy Party. You can get the game on Steam if you've never seen this game before. You can purchase it on Steam or on the website. And you know, my name is AstatineEffect. I am the one who is playing and commentating today. Or not. Well, I was one of the people playing, but I was also the one commentating today. So, yeah. So that was the entire set. Yet again, I want to say a massive, good game to Ethan, who I mean, absolutely played brilliant this set. I got completely lucky. I think it wouldn't have even gone to overtime had it not been for this extremely like stupid lucky shot on high rise, which is probably going to haunt me at night because I should have lost the set, but I'd imagine it haunts Ethan at night. Um, so yeah, I also want to thank the tournament organizer for setting everything up and the payouts. I want to thank Jay Scarney. And then yeah, I think that is going to wrap it up for this video. Thank you everyone who stood around this long, and have yourselves a wonderful day. And I hope you learned some stuff of value from this video and got some nice enjoyment out of it. And that is it for me. I will see you guys later.